And may the heavens rescue this land. We need a man with vision to lead. John Mahama is the man for us. Oh, Ghana needs a change.
Mumbai and sorry and Renum, Wafe Watiashi Nina Nyawo Eka Ghana Naneman Sakia.
Let us rise for a change.
Sorry and Renum,
A vote for Mahama is a vote for Ghana.
Wafe Watiashi
Ghana needs the best thing.
To a new dawn, we've walked this path far too long. So let us rewrite all history, for Ghana needs a change.
And may the heavens rescue this land. We need a man with vision to lead. John Mahama is the man for us. Oh, Ghana needs a change.
Mumbai and sorry and Renum, Wafe Watiashi Nina Nyawo Eka Ghana Naneman Sakia.
Let us rise for a change.
Sorry and Renum,
A vote for Mahama is a vote for Ghana.
Wafe Watiashi
Ghana needs the best thing.
We also notice that the bulk of our people here are farmers. And so we need to support our farmers to be able to produce. The problem with our economy is that we are import dependent. Everything we import from outside. Indeed, food products alone account for almost $3 billion every year of our import bill. And a lot of these things are products that we can produce locally. Even we rely on our neighboring countries for some products like onions and tomatoes, and these are all things that God has blessed us with the land. He's giving us sunshine, He's giving us water to be able to do so ourselves. And so we're going to come and assist the farmers so that we can produce enough food. Before you do anything else, the first thing you need is to satisfy the stomach. And so food is the #1 priority. And the only way we can produce enough food is to support the farmers to produce it. And that is why NDC is coming to establish farmer service centers. Every farmer service center will have at least 10 tractors with planters, harvesters, everything that a farmer needs. You have fertilizer, you have weedicides, you have improved seeds, everything. And each farmer has to register with the farmer service center closest to him. They will come and measure your farm and see how many acres you're doing. They know how much seed you need. They know how much fertilizer you need. They will come and plow for you. They will harrow for you. They will plant for you. And they'll do it on high purchase, on credit. And when you harvest your crop and you sell, you come and pay, so that the next season they'll have money to support you again. This will help our farmers to be able to produce more food.
ana Facebook tie o radio so ayewo University of Professional Studies Accra na enoma ya ye acham so far da ni pefe se enframa ne abode ne bibia wa ha aye krado e de ama enedai na enedai kra ye de da eneye International Youth Day ewo ewiase afana nyina wiase afana nyina edi ewurusie e de fa mabunu enkanko mabunu mpuntuo eneye mabunu ankasa eda ba wo man Ghana ha sei no NDC amanyokuo nkwa na ye amanyokuo amahunu se watu no wasi wo se enedai wo beye dwumadie e de ahye Ghana mabunu ho animonyam na wo UPSA ha no na dwumadie kase no baba bekoso hall na eda ye nim ha sei no a enipa ahyase ebo wuram na ensiesie ekoso wo no ho na nhyiamu no ebekoso ba ye baba san komo no so later but for now yemusa mabunu a ehyam wo ha sei na sei omo aye ni omo ahia wo UPSA se enedai gina be ne gina homa homo anase edai so na se kire ne gina homa hono den ye ne omo ebedi nkomo e de afa sa asemi ho but afi theme anase titira sema eda International Youth Day no abefo adeyo abefo tintafidie adeyo ani hia ehia se ye begina so sa mama hodo a ewo wiase afara nyina na yaboa ama mabunu no etumpon obo my Ghana say na tebia ne sitie normal bebre na asi afi mu titiriu ene mfia hodo a ebesere ko enkomo a ejina power my Ghana ansakra ne ye ba beto aba ene se enoma ebetima boa am yenye nyina so ansa ne yegina abefo tentafidi ade yoso no yenye mu pi ebi ne nnwuma eni ho ebi ne enoma ye betimi dia toto akwa mu sede be ya abefo ade yo no ebetima koso tote sa no no bebre yenye ba oba His Excellency John Mahama na penso a wo mo hya ase so mo tu sa na mo no ba sa na mo ntuo no ekoduru sei ye ne mabunu ni bi beka sa na ya hwe etitira semi ene sa dai sede ye sigina homa omo mehia ebi wa ha se wo University of Professional Studies Accra eja Bram Chense ha o want to say me watching so
that's it.
Akra confida ko so wo hye odwumadie na se no wo ka asem bi ebie phone lines ebusa se Ghana mabunu ade akra no mo hwe ade akra ne o mahia ade na brantie wo kan bi ansa ne ye ba basabra ye ba de mema no ehwere nyina nguo wudi
Yeah, from me David Otre.
David Ufriva
Mr.
Takrade na waba nchemu ya asem bo okay ba wo no ndo mama nyoko bia
David
wo ndo mama nyoko bia ene day ejina ho say ma wo.
And there International Youth Day.
That's right.
And also the National Democratic Congress there da pon omudi. Nti yeso ya ba say ebetie emunsem.
Na ase beba ensem omobeka no and International Youth Day omutitira asem say ye nyina barefoot intafidi ade yoso na ye mfentu mabunu no abrabompon. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot to me because when you go to other advanced countries now, utimu says abefo adie yo no ama oman no etumpon. What I say, uko oman bi to say China sisia Ghana for bebre youth egu China omusua sa anwoma no. Intimi gidi say sa anwoma no so say ekoso e wo man Ghana mu a ebeboa yen.
Ba ye ba ye man mu a anamon ba ne etuo de ne aye a kire say yaye krado e de ama sa empuntuo wa abrabom no.
Oh, to me ni de me who say yaye bibia sa although me who say omo see STEM schools be around but Ghana 16 regions and then I've been to almost half of the regions in the country. I mean who say STEM school.
But the one case is here no e kasa fa said ye Ghana mpanifo hunu mabunu no e na mabunu no da bi omusu e de frɛ no ma hodo a said ye mpanifo tu wana mo Ghana mpanifo te yesu frase ye Ghana mabunu no omote ase
oh ne ekoso oman no mu de omote pa
omote yesu frase
omote ase ne mom eye say omo ana omo ahyeda ayo omo adwen say isu yesu afrom no omo nkasa en say omo ni a omo oman no ne ekoso ni omo ni sebi wende sikani bi osori fi ni fi anopa okura Land Cruiser and the okojina filling station Land Cruiser obe fill tank 3,000 Ghana cedis.
That's right.
Inti everybody is feeling the hardship in the country. Inti omunim ne ekoso.
Eti kaonko an Kennedy Vice President Awope President Eddie President of the Republic of Ghana aka kakra bi no wa free abem ke ne day ya International Youth Day e ka wonko a command Ghana ye focus be there.
Oh, me the sisi akra the your friends say vice presidential candidate obey flag bearer of the MPP. Oba catch and say watch $. Sisi asa no sa. Onja asa no na onko $. Ninjina ona sisi ayebre. Onja asa no. Asa no asa no cry offbeat. It's media me na me catch Ghana youth for say nia aban osu sisi ana omo ye de emboaye. Emboaye. Na sisi ano so no. Yen youth na ye wo man no nia ebe boyen na ye hwehwe nia ebe ma oman no etumpon eno na ye hwehwe de ebe ma ye benya adwuma ayo eno na ye hwehwe wo sori a wonti say youth be 18 years 20 years wakobo krono wakotwe eto obi so enye eno na ye pe edwuma na ye pe ayo say ye sori anopa na ekwa edwuma esere eda obi anim eno na ye hwehwe
but anopa yi oba UPSA has say so te said you can say obi epene ne daily bread ope bibi kakra to no kakra to no botom se be ya ne nsa betima kona no ohwe machi ase ya obehunu mabunu bi a ono no ebaburu abrante ono baburu watwam kakra bat wada so giram pa ogira ne naso wutu so oton beret ya woton ye che ya wotonton ne tia wa ne se ne daily bread no ye dey wo hwehwe ka on a normal day no kenya se nhyamu we ya kono normal day wo abonte a what trends are man for beba abane soto abeto but enye sanete meboa
Pochwan sa pepepe
but adding to timem your memu mpanimfo no omuntimi nya sa nyintumu no no muntimi ntu anamo won susu ye meyedi entra
oh and me pesa me you see hard times though but still send enyama ekona wo hwa always youth ye go street a ye picket ye demonstration na police for boy ani ade nia ya ye ne betimi aye bia nti me ne ameka ne say ye bo apayo aye ni da ho pa e na omode ye
me da say me ne abema a won so abeka sa do pay obetumi akona the microphone no ama me producer abusia for high power 97.9 and a face TV XYZ ye guso our University of Professional Studies Accra that is the mekan no dwumade ye kase pa ye hwe animu se besi enche bia no wabra abo nondu eye youth manifesto launch no eye mabunu no manifesto omoba be pa hontuma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebeba dwumadi ye ase sanso na National Youth Organizer edema NDC amanyoko no ora George Opariado a sanso ye meranimu ni ono so beba dwumadi ye ase a enkomo no betimi akoso kama na sabira ye ka say peaceful citizen ono de na sundwe na wo ye ode ye timamuni no da bia wakoma Ghana yapomuden hunsam yapomuden puntuo ya supiti omusua de so mba be ya nurse for adokotafo omo ana ugusu awokomo peaceful citizens ye mwachi mwakwaba na se power fm UPSA so ni mi na se ya be pie mo UPSA ayo ena meti akonya so amesa ena ya ba abonti aye bedi asabebo a but ani bra bo man Ghana titru ena day ya eye International Youth Day mabunu ni so mani abre omo se afi wo mo nko no sa afra se edi enti na man komo no apagya sa
yes obre na ye bre wo Ghana enti na apagya sa no se see attention was system ni mu na so bia ye din what I say obre wo mu pa wo share price is good share youth no ye bre unemployment prices of fuel omu koton ade kra se obehun se obia be so ye business kakran na so dollar na ye vice president yo be chin wanya nchi dollar no wohu nti say dollar na ti chain e na odwane nti youth no omu mia omeni no enkoye na so de ya ni say kasa na omu kasa ni na no omampani nu ntie we got demonstration a ye be bo we ye strike ye be threaten say wo ye adwuma obabi kra na bia opese okeka ho kakra na opese okasa ye be pamu ye be iwedi nti ama obi aye din we are living under tension wohu silent tension one nyoma na esi wo Kenya no
that's right egusu esi
yes egusu ekoso nti yanhwe ya in the next future enche bia Ghanaian youth to be on the
and in fact Nigeria and Bangladesh
exactly
omumebudu na tie gu mountain so many abre it was yanhwe ya ebi betima to man Ghana
yes ebi betimi to man Ghana because we try to say Nigeria na wo kanu estati kakran na nyoma bayedin Kenya enye bread no me some the tax to bread so imagine Ghana tax for bibia so you find this COVID-19 I can asema. There's still COVID-19 tax on every single item. But obia yedin, okay, yan can say taxes no malls, no, and I say big shops. What about our food stuff? Musi planting for food and jobs. And accommodation. Okay, musi one village, one dam. And in so na dam na mo ye no. Then I'm de ye. Na youth no yet here no ye who say paying for no obi te asisila adapa or what ska woni dime was cash baby come election ahwe ska say it means ska wo man ni mu
for them for politank
exactly
so meaning say e kwan omo fa so nya ska no abeye hia de ama mabunu na omo no sika ni bi omo boto
exactly it say ye adwuma ma omo because then prices cost through no and yes na salaries ne cost through what I say ye gina fa kun salaries no enko but tariffs GDP bibia everything is going high and I hear din say want to me nkasa because who koye demonstration class say who kan ho asema ye be bu waka ho wo hu enti ye brand so ayenye bi my your parents ni your family no ayete enugwase kan
okay it another international youth day no wo hwe omutitira asema omo kasa fa abefo tinta fidie ade yoso far from Ghana ye here asebo
exactly
it's far away and should here Ghana sir
and here Ghana say also mo hwe Ghana nyoma ye here yen wo hu nti for instance NDC for kan some 24-hour economy instead so mo betina se ahwe say nyoma na ye Jomahama kan no or ye ni sen but instead no mo criticize ade no instead say MPP for no mo pese ye bre on pese ebre nti ye omu hu se bibi be ya man kra omu ne ye be ko afa ho
but aban de kana sudi ana se na sede ne se obetete memofo no yawo omu hawo ne wagina so atu anamo aye bibi afa eti wo pa che se ebu apayo o ma hyeda
me hu ne so ma hyeda me hu se o ma so esi enye onu na omu dwen hu se na o be didi ame na omu dwen ye hu. What I say, 8 years in government. Now we have nothing to show. Okay, Anthony said, okay, some time ago, Musi, Jomahama, sorry, I was see infrastructure. No, na yebe diana. Are we going to eat roads? Okay, and then AC. And the roads na say yo. Okay, you in the roads. I say,
so my ya kwan chen obia. My ya kwan chen. Kwame Nkrumah mpo aban.
Mami fa aboso kwan in your example now. That is a major road. But a major road leading to a teaching hospital. Nene say 1 year lucky. Na ambulance be tremu. Now car traffic mo honoma. Utiati. What I said, these are some of the basic needs. Okay, musi Jomahama ACC hospital. So I say mudia mu bububi. Buna mu bubi. Mu sibi. They should mention your mercy because you pay juma a infrastructure and there was say sisi ho na dia anya juma ye but say one si bia maya then e be juma wo it is a mu bubi na at the end of the day mu can policy bia for the youth in Treya it means ene day e was say any brepan na yeta NDC fu
it ene wabra yeta NDC fu achi na youth manifesto e ba be koso no e de na wo hwe animu say wo mu de be hye manifesto ni mu a
yeah, into the most important thing I mean, Mati dada no ye 24-hour economy.
Okay.
Mati asiye pound se mi nurse ni ntino. That system name dada. It is the best policy any country would adopt to help the youths of the country.
Say ye juma de muni nyina.
Exactly. And ti juma na says our policy no. It means say juma ba kun to me employ nipa 3 at a go.
Okay.
So instead of 1 you are using 3 people.
Yeah.
It means say and then me ba morning na we ba afternoon na yenua we ba night. What I say so if an ejuma ba could be better me employ nipa be 200 per day. It means any person our employ 600 per day. So that is the best policy. And usa obi abenye biedi. Obi abenye bia supporting ho. Now to make year running over in such a way say why we are lucky cry. Nipa ba ku betime nya adwuma mienu. Enti se wo ko se wo normal 7 to 3 ana 8 to 3. Now wo ba fie na oni hwi ya, wo rest kakra na wo se o wenya night bi wo ba bia. Wo betime akotwa night.
So in the case of the health sector no, nurse for makoje ntete a omuti fie ne e de ma ban so obefo mo amoma ba adwuma no with the 24-hour economy no be easy because obehia shifting kind of.
And no, they say as for next for no crowd, there will hold that down. Problem you're posting.
Okay.
What I say, as we stand since 2020, go to feel. After no mission maybe a portal, I no cry at it. Ebi moon to me as a portal. And imagine say we go school 3 years. Now we in 4 years. Who go school and our uncle. Who parents crash or bear liability. Sure come make us say who I ya boka won who we no. Yes. Into no, after nurses cry there no omudeni okay. But I share other sectors now. His Excellency can no. I think say no one a wine. Production sector. Imagine say yeah, production center air running 24 hours. We would produce excess and export. And the export business crab. What I say. So if we are producing something, say your cocoa, your share butters, and we are able to produce extra because you are working extra hander. Obinsu ye business for whom? Because now everybody can get enough to export. And the country will get money in return.
And indirectly, in a bit messy, and normal beside your tie crafter.
Exactly. A bit me abwa. Because see now, the big shit in me did this MPP for baby now, international trade. Sana me who know. Yes. It seems like they are exporting every single thing.
Wow.
From our food stuff to our basic needs, even toothpick cram at cra. Meanwhile, we have at times to kwanya we shall say baby Ghana. You want natural resources, baby. I mean to me be some who say, so what do we need? What are we keeping all these things for? What stops us from investing in our own?
Yeah.
Now, so I share in paying for no huge amount of money, they are able to start international trade. Now, so in local markets, no, to me, and now we share Ghana foreigners ni ye business wa ha, see yen youth no.
Yeah.
Me see me koji shop I mean to mean ya. But foreigner be to ya.
Yeah.
What I say?
It be trust no money in aso. Peaceful citizens, you best akasa bi Medo Ase pa and obra unyama ebusia for higher TVXYZ and Facebook Power 97.9. What also share Facebook TVXYZ Ghana and YouTube so X. Now Yegusawa University of Professional Studies Accra. Higher fountain no Jamamonso almost almost say is Joni Pubasana Easter BB. Now fountain yase na mabeto abrante wa bi wa ha say onya kokoro ya abrante pa abrante re te say
bibia wa ko me
abrante re fro say
o e from Kofi Anyanve
Kofi kasa de na wo be ma
e from Kofi Anyanve
Kofi wo kwa wa ho
me kwa wa pa
wa bre ho
ma bre yesi mara jo le be do ale
be from ye boy wo dwe ho say
oh e from
obo ade na ye ne dia ho
ye Philippa
from na de papa
ye Philip o ka say you abrochi
o ka say you abrochi akra Kofi da ko e from na bo wa ha no anu enwunu kakra fi se bia ya ye wo enua bebre e wo ha eti aboa ma wutimi home kama ena frama no so e de eti wo hwe UPSA said o masi a structure ha say na ha say ye bia o betima ba betna no maji o ma home meaning say adwin bi ko said o musi ye no ma yi home boa
oh school
ena ni nyina ye perindie
school we dey minimum school we pa first na ye school kit we bi edem be mienu bi na esi kwanche ho no
okay
but in the ocean environment now be fully fresh university me ba ha in fact I was surprised because it been long time me de ba ha say me ko University of Ghana mom there but those
na me twa adwe bi SBB so say wo hwe ba bi o mu free ene ba bi o madura
yeah
e ye panindie na mo ma madura
panindie nse no na me kan ba say Prof Salabi on e be di enim na o change the face of UPSA.
Wow.
And obaha obia kwa anka nkirewa in fact obaga say wa abrochi.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's true. So we share with TV so obonu nia ye kan. But ye kan dia besi on my Ghana.
Yeah.
On my Ghana na wo baabi. And ya beduru baabi. Ye tumpon.
Oh media we nji say ya tumpon bia ko enim bebre. Bibia ye wona na ye wo. Ebia enkro na mienu bi na abaka ho a ebia baka say yatumpon kakra but bibia ye wona na ye wo
na ene dey akoye mabunu dey e dey na wo hwe anim say yaban I mean aban hodo political parties the ombetwe de ato mu manifesto no mo de na hwe anim say be ka fa mabu no titire na dey NDC e ba be pa youth manifesto you want to de na hwe anim so ombetwe agum
me de menua ne ye kan na ye embebu ansem I will zero my emphasis on youth employment or youth unemployment.
Okay.
Uhwe amman we musisi a edwuma ni ho.
Edwuma ni a?
Yes, and it's a security threat to the nation because time a John Mama was so no be free degit no nanka mbaka baby unemployment wo ene baby akufo ni baomia ombeje.
In fact John Mama pension 8.7 and they kasa around 14.7%.
Yes, that is good. So as wa kano when who baby a
amman na make on ya
say na yen no when baby a amman nam sisia.
Yeah,
sometimes u sorry anepa na u hwe youth a nanka wo say omu ye dwuma de boa amman we na obium tetedua se omu tu dame ni nyama ha dwen bebre ejuma sam na yade a ehia mi bebi a mi fi western region oba western region a there's a revolution be a air coso in the rubber production we see na no yes only 5 countries and more land ye de produce rubber sa rubber no ye de cartize.
Okay,
now the whole world yes country 5 per more productive land for such rubber production.
It will come in as you say.
Yes, the Americans say Sisi and western region they are into that, but neighboring environment ni ho. Neighboring environment.
Yes. 1 year sadi no
yes.
Meda say ebusia I power 97.9 afenso so TVXY the Dwabo Ase so na way Kwame Nkenie Accra Covid Akko studio na by University of Professional Studies Accra. Mama sorry free fund yi huna me found nante kakra. Buy ya ba bibia da di pefe say dwumadie ya enche bia be sha say buy 10 a.m. no kakra ba na mabu no so ba ha say and afenso so adesuafo a omo ase no so omo ye omo ho krado e de akoma ensore ne normal hodo omo ye e de akomanim wo abrabomu at least for I have say UPSA. Now, Meshia, another young, energetic man. I'm no ebabedin komo. Ebusuan saying,
Nyami adom, nyami side de adom by economy there, and yet
boom, a dear near cost war.
I want chireni at 18 or how more economy there, and yet.
It will just by way the planting for food and jobs. Chiawachi dollar dia to fiase ne ne ho kro no banyina enya nsusu aso papa bia wo o my Ghana
David me politics no mo ye effect ye feel effect ni kra ye politics no mo ye frankly speaking ye branka saka say youth ni be kan no kra pa na ye politics na ye brepa menia
and bra ye bre no wabra wo me mfato ho no enso anu aduro ni ye de ne betima ya afa ho
the better my found no a change because Usha yeah how you know it's about leadership. Now if it's about leadership, then we need to change our leadership in this country. Send a I think that's the only option we have.
Okay. A most blessing our year Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer ma NDC amanyoko no. Yane betwetwe komo baby abi team hunu baby a wojina say wode ne nsa so ne sisi a wa hye ne chichi tuntuma wojina wa wo hwa bibia akoso wano and afa so hwe say bambo no so koso kama power benne da dwumade ye ba abekoso wo Kofi Ohene Konadu auditorium yi e de na wo hwe animu say His Excellency John Mahama any NDC and penifori nyina beka e beto asumu a ene niaga na mabunu FM no bechia.
Okay, to me they are me expecting a message of hope for young youth every say without young youth I think there is no Ghana or there is no future, and we are expecting a message of hope. Now why be that? And why be that? We expect say obet nyame adom na say manya akonya na
obe baba sisani amasa na ebe ya Ghana be fa ntoma pa fra
mamusu asemo waye bi da no enough enyina so betima ka say look ye de ere hye joma mamu se ono na eba besisa o my Ghana tibia sabri waye bi da enough
yes
baba bia Ghana say duro no enya asem to o ye de ka soka edakam ye ntimi ntua ye ka joma ma betima ye
o betima ya abroso minia wo hwe energy sector education anyway and then kita economy and he did well. He did very, 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 very well. We should put politics aside. He did very well. And you know, and yes, I be that, and because of experience or one, he can do better. Politics or diba, even a 24-hour economy. Minia, say be cancer every say. We have seen people died. We have seen people lose their monies and families just because of mapong ejuma. Say people have lost their lives. People have lost their jobs and their monies. People have lost a lot. Economy no air crashing down because of say time I edi ejuma no see mapong. Obeko ejuma wo hia bebi a. Menua say ne ukoyi ade opota. You can no hours in days anyway o. And to support pon. Na say ukoyi ade $100 a. Ebe $500 every say ya pon and you have to wait for another 12 hours. And the nukra no is enough. And I'm telling you say yes, I be done into no we hope say and I say nim say or bet me aye now I change leadership now Ghana afa into my pafra.
All right, me da say ebusia high power 97.9 afa so TV XYZ ye gusua University of Professional Studies Accra me nenam gusua ne mebunu ni bi omo say no Asia edi nkomo baby am na me say aha don't walk on the Lord and you are walking. Let me go and sit here. That is a mini penny. Fantastic. Yamina down. I say come up. From an bonus, it was a come up. What feel you?
Papa.
Sir, you are dream free. Dan na or how Ghana for you film one. You are dream free. But who free? I want you to Sambaso.
Margin for Sambaso.
Share me how I FM.
How are you from Cassiapa? I am Hunchira, ye from. Day. As I say, MP for buy beer, what promise a brow over 2016. Wakachre say, Mahama, need Timu Yedi. A mamu want to be bunny. Into more or more barber bro mamoni. I might be beer, ye fine. Not better your Tony say, not those enemy chito our shama to Tama. Ye ton of 14 cities. Was Mahama need Timu Yedi. By a net, put to Galaga Baku, say, New boy, Mahama. Namreso. Enyama mahama ye nyina omoka se mahama wanya de wanya ni ye ba mo ba be ye ni ye omo de omo be sei ni kra omo sei amamu no omo sei Ghana she dollar ye man pani abedi ye kire ba wo me waka kire ye se dollar na mahama eje ye 4 cedi ni ekwansi kakra da so no ono wa ba obema dollar no aba fo nkra che mahama $1 abayi 1 cedi. And then I honey. Almost 15 cedi and 16 cedi. And a $1. Was I catch us what $2 not the kinama IGP?
A bromo baba mono. Or IGP. Or the IGP. Okay.
Nasation a dinner year who says here. They say on the campaign one year as a bonnet now I was. One nick a message back for Wakase Utah. And number ye bre Ghana. One nick a message back.
It is a number brea. Na ye baomiane nanado swo.
Na ye baomiane nanado nto mo be church Ghana fo. Echi aman no fi mahama nsam. Se memunu sori nde eye bibia na ye friend say akufodo. Eni ni baomia nto mo be cho etie ye ntia.
It is abre ya ye kwa akoto abai so mo ko gina si bie so. No mo ka say omo kwa ahodo so mbe form be wini abana. Omo be break 8 na. Was abre ya wo ka ho kire wan asema. Eya nsem na pem wo say.
Minua. Ni nyina me hono se eya dada. Eye ntona bio. Esena say you mama
bia so.
Want me na de ne ye de hye wo sa dada. Want me anye. Na afi no ba be ka che so over inside.
Wo se kwan bi obefa so bi obefa.
Want me nye. Debi. Akwan be no obefa so. Atimi ade kwani. Sie ade bia esi 2020 aba ye 2 ye. Electoral commission e bi si da awo Ghana. Abakose mu. Se electoral commission be bubu abanu be 4 times. Ebe pinda mimi wa minim abadudu akufo do wini ababa ye president o minum da ebe pim de na sende wo ye de abam amomo no hye wo safo 8 years ni afu no ba be ka sem se ye to abam wo ma wo ba be sisania ma wo ba be ye bibia da bi mi hunu se ye nto bi no mo twatwe gana fo enti you to be a what see me no o hunu se akofo do no ba wo me amamu no amambu boni nti wo se ye fa amamu no mahama back aye bida ono no betimi sisa gana ma na ye yi esene se na promise o mai ni nyina no wo ye he eda no first day me call terminal 3 me say me yede me tiam te se kwase ni
airport one.
My goodness.
What tiam se kwase?
My goodness. Listen to me. Ayadia aye fire. Be ni Ghana. Na ena John Domani Mahama so. Ano mo si airport terminal 3 de si ho. Oko ahoni ye fe. Aye kama.
Enti aye.
No mo oh yes, why you be that? You friends who call Legon Hospital,
that's right.
America Center.
Yeah.
Kona ko ho. Asa brochiri.
It would normally be na wo kano.
Eni mo be say na me kano.
Very well.
Eni mo be say na me whom say yes. Papa no was sa dan no. Aye Legon America Center so wa babio mo. Obasa ye ne ye den etesa. Bebre susu wo ho won wi yansa na. Omudi dada ne nto ba ba giga na mo finish. Oba be tosu aye ni ye. Amubro biara mo tie me biara no. Mo kai hu say enkofo mo ye dada fo. Omo ba be dada ye bio. Nti ye ma ye ni da ye fi ye ni. Ni ye nto papa ma tonto mane mahama.
Medase pa busuya Dwabo Ase di pa 97.9 afeso TV so as be hu say asrafo no mo hye eye ahabamono no dodo na ba ha se ya nche bia ene omo ebe kasa mama ne sister yi enso eni nkomo na ne maburu no kwa na ye ne omudi nkomo ene akokora bia nka ho bi maburu kwa mmerewafo nka ho bi ebusu obetu aso wo da bo whistle na sorry bo whistle bo hwere ma bo okay what's it time as well was it time aso mama na say aketesia wa ho fo mai die eche nkure yo ye ahofe die na ye fro say
poche from Janet yenu me ye branch woman organizer wo yarefa
branch woman organizer wo yarefa Medina mpeswa so okay solid na ene day akoye mabunu day die dikan mabunu e wo Ghana ye hawo ne say Ghana mpanimfo ete ye hawo na say omudi hu dwuma na
me das me nua bema omundi ye hawo no hu dwuma eni tiri nyani abre no na ya hawo na abaye nso no obi obetumi aso anu aman ye papa JDM visoni die osade oyo osa oyo nti sa hawo na mebu ye nam wa Ghana asese ya no ono no obetumi aginya afiri mu enu tiri yeni abre no
enye abi de okay wonka because we NDC ni
Debi MPP fo no kwa abo ahe ne Yesu
omuka
omuka ho bi
wonyina so ye de ayi
me ngina so ne se me mahu bebre fi se me ye woman organizer me ye house to house enti ehie MPP fo na omu nkom omu ne yedi ni kire se omu hawo no echenye kwa ye de
omu hawo no bi ye de ayi
de ye ne ahoche na ye na emu na omu su komu bi
ahochire
ye be ofse omu nso no omu brese ne asu ye bre ya but omu ntumi nka
se nuane bo akosoro
ye nyina ne
no de hawa ba ni nyina omu ka bi
omu nyina aka bi
omu kan akosi sei
omu kan akosi sei ye nchange na mahama mra
asemba na aga no
me nua be ma
what TV zo me ntwa tro
me se nya ntro na mi me se nya ntro na mi twa geto to geto na ye kono insam a yete wo ho na bi na me ne wo ka no
wow omu si ye ntwam
omu si ye nsi
ye omu firi ho
MPP ni kura ka ache me so no ba wo mi ho nto aba ma no
but me wo omu pedifo no so gina simpie so e ka se ekwa bi ombe faso bia ombe di nkunim no ombe faso bra na champa so na me
omu aye se omu ewiem no omu wiem no enwiem no plan na omu nim se omu ankasa no omu ni vision omu ni campaign message enu nti omu adwuna ne se omu ba wiem se 2020 no omu ye
jaba sa na ndi simo ye dey
nye mpene kura
so de wano na e ka
debi yesi ye di nyoma egu akwentum fe ma abonte
Tafi we di enkonza
afi we di enkonza 2020
obo Ghana for ma ho ba
jai
ene dey am ba be pam youth manifesto you want to buy e dey na Ghana mabunu hwe anim se mo be ka wasem
wo mo hwe anim nhyehyeye pa a e de baba Ghana a e betumi ayinya afi sa ho
bit say
sa 24 hour economy na ye papa JDM de ba no menu aba mejai e be bua mabu nti o mo ani gi sa message ne ho pa sa 24 hour economy
eno e de ade
be papa 24 hour economy no ode ba ne kire se adwuma no aye yesesi ayi edu time obi bapon obi baba obapon 10 obi baba 11 obakọ 12 ne 4 enu se adwuma na ode ba ne be boa yen di se wo mo nda nti wo adwuma no so kura na wo befa wo kesa
se de ye na wa brochi no enti no sare be boa manwuma bu so
be ba manwuma aba ma ho to so aba
me da say me da say onya bre na ye kasa no pay wo Dwabo Ase wo pa 97.9 and afa so TVSYZ and then me kwa wura asrafo mo hye enya atade bia na hye mo hye green ye from the green army na no pay UPSA ana ya ba no utum se ni bra so pa no de abewura nyame ncha de opanyi ba ko asemi boni din a wo man Ghana ba kwasemu ade bi eto ye no wontimi pepa mfrim e boni din na wo sha se wo kan nsem e de achewa ubewunu nie nti a wa ba hye atade we ya enye green pastors but a green army because ade na eto no ene nia esi ye ewo ne mpeso aso no ene nia esi ye ewo ne mpeso aso no utum se na eye adejinjan bi a wano ankasa we swai ena Ghana fo bebre nso swai se ni ukwan se bi si da ewo my Ghana bakwasemu na de ade na make safa de esi ewo Techman South wa bra ye to about 2020 emrantie ni bi o mo hwere o mo nkwa emu baako papani eja me mo ache mo akwa ba
yeso kwa minka
ene de watch the green army
na ye ba ye de anije so nko ene ye de abebedu a efise ye odwumadi a ya to din say manifesto launching
ye be ba so
eno na ma ya be
ba so ba ye ko ye chikitwa bi eja nya se me ka wo ya me se me ka nyina no wani atete eni suo ya ba but I was here di ho komo because eno na motivate wa wo dia bedru ba bia wadru a wanya soldiers nyina se o matwa ho ahia sada no a oba no eda ni bonkum so ya fa kwa bo edie na si ye
Kwame dano de na ya rehose matechi my mind nyina say there we see was asem no sha say ya kan say won kai me ya wo no but won kai me ya wo but sa asem wa ka no ya obi aba be wura me hu sesi ya me no kasa yi dano na nye easy ya to aba since from President Rollis a wanya de ba biko President Kufuor preso Atamels peso John Mama peso ansana yeba Akufo-Addo peso sa nipa mebo mu nyina di election bia nu ayakwa yanya owuwom obia nu owu sa election until sa Akufo-Addo na ban oba ya ye ko election a yenya nipa nwotwe a omawu Ghana ha besi nne Akufo-Addo won kan hwe
etu bai etuo ne de ball no ku no
ball no tuo ene ku no
na wo dwane anase na ono so collation center hobi
the thing say me amigina me Techman South youth organizer
ko
the frame Yusuf Amalo
that's right
samre no na me youth wing leader na ye na mikita youth wing ni nyina nti election day no ye to aba no ye wie na wo say mehwe ma bebia polling agent for no bia yenya a pin sheet nti ye fa omo so ye divide ye ho ema ye gidi pin sheet no nti wie na ba polling coalition center
yeah
the coalition center on enim say ye bebo aba na the wa win no wo di anije ni ahunhoa na wo ye de ben wo di eden a ye to aba wi a nipa obawe no the supporters and there should be jubilation.
That's right.
O me jubilate ya nije says ada no utimi so obia eye ne de no na nije no atmosphere na yeso no nko.
Yeah.
Nti ye ba no say anajo no ye nyanti ye say aba no o mbebo no anajo no ama obia wo wi ne no ya free ho. Sa na omo deliberate attempt bi say aba no ye parliamentary candidate Christopher Basunti Bayre na wa win but nani pa bia bo mutirim po se enam se omupa majority in parliament nti no o mefa kwan bone na bebia ye declare ye no ye de tuo aba be kunkum ye na ye de agina so de agisa aba no nti da no ye gina ho anadwo no saa ma de chen ye
etinim anya information dada
information de
so mutirim ponie
na ye anya information dada
say ya betutu akum nipa
na wo hwe a da na ro se me wo se kwa me ma menka bibi nkyiro se ye two parties and a coalition center ho MPP gina fa NDC gina fa na dano omo de amokas nyina ba ho so where police for ni military for no a baby I know omudi omutu ahwe nyina endis for yeso but baby ana MP for gina no to obi an hwe
but to both se bibi sa beba na ebi abambo nyuma na te se oye ne bi ba besi na NDC for na no mabo chenku ni timem for na no mabo chenku no mu kura sekan no mu kura tuo no mu kura kodie bi
Kwame yati sa but ya mfanya adwuma se betima no kore
but na mu kura bibi sa
yenkita hwe sa wo hwe video no a video so no sam se munyina munyaaye
yes
mu so obi kita bibi mu so obi kita bo obi kita sekan obi kita tuo sa na edigina ho efse ade a na ye ne se yemmo aba no na de wawe no yemfa ne kudu de ma no ko baby ntie na mo nyina na wo hwe a NDC for no na yenim se ya we nti na wo hwe na jubilation no na sakuleti erane amanfo obotwe na ya bozu ye nti no enam tirimu po a na wo mutirimu no ene na ma omodi tuo no afesi NDC for
wow
nti omodi for si ya kopem se pinche free dam ho epie omonna so even military proper military for kwa na omo no e ka kire se aba no de ye parliamentary candidate wa win na yenya abotra na ombebo aba no electoral officer na obebo ama na edede kura fe na omukro omugina kura na omabre
wow
asama military for no
e say proper military
for
not just improper military for be
proper military omoye vigilante group ya show omo military atade ya show omo police oye ni omo e kwame omo MPP party faithful
and ye the atade bi aso omo
military atade na show omo na be dis abone no
omo free techman south
free techman yes omo so omo be dis abone no e na omo be dis abone no techman fo e ka hu bi techman fo bi mensa kosa
wow
enne enyo na MP
David on na MP
one benefit yes awu no sie no enam hwan so e na sa de ni sie one benefit ye enyo na tisu o
but also no kran wo fa se kra ho ke
no den kwan no wo fa se wuo no ba na no wo fa se na say boy na onye wuo na oye na wo fa se wo fa se a ye hunu abusuafo mi gino me akola ne papa na wo no na akola no wo fa se na mi hunu ya abusuam wo ma fie wo da mechi aida emre be na oye na wo fa se ye to aba akola no wuye no oye na wo fa se a na wo ti asene e na wo fa se ndi kwa me ya re ho sem
eti ye kwa 2024 ye titi bibi free brand example ho e mo nyina ma hwe video ni aba e de a kire mo pen na no na his excellency Victor Smith e wo studio no okasa afa ho se wo gusu a wo kasa wo gina simpie so a wo kasa wo mba fa kwan bia so e di nkuni mu abato yi mo so bibi sa wo tia na wo kai de to mo e wo techman south a e die na wo wutiri sa abre
kwa me na asem na e asem sire kura ma me manu fa sa asem no kura na emba mu kura ayasem sire ono brana champa wo kasa no wono se wonfa ma ye to aba no na se GM awini a ompie nka se wonfa ma se GM awini dia fine se o abusuafo so omo pese basa esi man mu a omo abusuafo eso abusuafo omo na wa japade o Ghana ha nyapade nkase ni na ye omo dia ye de ehiafo eni hwie o wona wa japade a wo sisa wo ajapade no umpese obebo ho ban a se basa esi isi a ene de obi anim anam ese otu nti sa wo se wo mfa ma ntokwasi a wo takimi a sa wo hu edin sin me a me so metako oba
baba to nya ntokwa
metako unua metako o mame metako wo fase
baba to nya ntokwa
abato nya ntokwa onu ka se omo mfa ma ni nyina so ne se ntina ma so omo mfa aba no mae
so obodu e mesa ba nchen ma mra onu anom nso na ye ne omudi nkomo 111 de wo kan ye enu abi no ewo wutiri ana bodi
Kwame
wofa
Ghana mabunu yaye mobododo
Ghana mabunu
yaye mobododo ana mankani ye kura
za wa de okay wo pa je say
Kwame am say sisia Ghana
ya
mabuna ye wo Ghana sisia ye ni daache ye daache no President Akufo-Addo ne na pamfo ye daache no oma shate no oma chese oma break ye into pieces aka Ghana mabunu ya ji ye ho a enje minu Kwame hwe se mimi gina hai na ye se ye che Ghana ka me de twam 200 million na mimi 200 million de kotu aka adwuma ben na Akufo-Addo board ya mamia me kotu aka 200 million obi a wo ba from Kwame Nkrumah penso edi besi John Dramani Mahama penso wo se Ghana yeka eye 122 billion.
That's right.
Ghana city.
Eka omujato wono.
Omujato wono. Eninti Ghana nkoye yeti sika soso ya kwamde ye. Metima ye di roto aje kwan ye mobosia.
Eno ade yebegina so anya sika.
Bosia bo eye ne edibuman ya kame baketwa betima buman oselo wusu so kasa no no. Na mwakeka sansen we nyina akere yen. Na finance minister timanya kokodura begina parliament akatre Ghana for say Ghana obeto no 122 no enam 742 billion omunya 8 years omudi 620 billion
na
abeka ye ka ho
wow
na Ghana babu no wo dache uni that
eti na wo ka de na akere mo
enti ne me ka kire Ghana mabunu ni se brana champon se hwanyo se omo handi over me bawo nyo ne ka se auto Senate hotel no anenti a wanto
ojem
oye bema a onkote
okay
ya no keke wantimi anto Ghana fo na di tumi ema obi enye bra na champon se ye to abanne na Ghana fo se NDC awene a who is Brana Champon nanum ena ye ne hene ena onam na otiti kire MPP fo
okay mabe call for so also so na memma mu kasa na minte honka de unuanom aka woni omo ya adwen
minua
babodi
oh ye frame me Amewabu deputy youth organizer Techiman South constituency baby MPP fo kun yen no na ne minuanom kan ye no enye agrobi na yedi we are ever prepared se Brana Champon je omo hand over kwan a obefa no ofa obefa fam we are ever prepared je ye twen omo se omo aye omo adwen je ntritiri asem na sabi moja ni bi obi amu o try beba you try beba
but that say ma we call for so na on so and for no this and to eja body
Pacho friend is Samari Shime, deputy youth organizer at Dwabo Ase constituency.
Ase
constituency.
Amantin persuasion. Also, Edian I work for Braya to abanin some kike ya kika or campaign trails we.
Yo, Mida Sequami, na, the Amebra Amelo Kaino, no cre. On say 2020 elections, no, Ntakwano MPP for my plan dada. Because at Dwabo Ase, Honorable Sanja Nanja, na siasi to no, Yane regional minister. Oya Kofi Amako hin oya MPP ni na eko entunu by all means no per se already election no and yes youth ni CMP ni
no per so wiem
pa
okay
because edrumre bi or the ballot papers eko polling station bi ekonkuru pay electoral area so the kwakwo from and nya tip-up sometimes so ya organizing mabunu bebru 50.
It will come and I could say.
Yes, and tia per se who say,
yeah.
Ntakwano ma plan no. ABC Techima South no. Ye nimpa because that day no Techima South day na your quality you know at Dwabo Ase MPP ni bi. E frame chairman e ka kire me say collation center na ye gina ho no me free up.
Wow.
Na soldiers beba ho. Man fafo na share me packet mu na soldiers are surround here. No ma share pam here. Afri honom no. Ye pese o mu hu say 2024
enkono sa ma call for so tentem na ye no wano eja body
yo kwame ye frame Bagben Junior Kingdom South youth organizer
ada speaker over papa na
me bacho speaker onyeme busia but we bear the same name
okay all right yetio
na me free yama me sompahima Lodina Mahama ne constituency na kwame 2020 BBC Kingdom South na mi china say aka kire wonu atie for say 2024 de Kingdom South ye be hye sompahima Lodina Mahama na ya saje seat no ama Obapa Felicia J na wasa be ka NDC ho e parliament kwame NDC youth ye ni abre na enam say ye campus ntino meka bibi kakra a kire a school for no mo fie muti
what a tougher
ene ye be launch the youth manifesto na wonya ye document na you will be a friend of student loan trust fund plus and kola motifia mo awie secondary school mo pay university akọ ebia mo pesa mo ba UPSA say amuntimi mba ye student loan trust fund plus no kire say wonya admission na say your mama ba mom o kire wontimi nti officer sa student loan trust fund plus no ye betimi aso wase na wa be school wie kura na a process loan no amo kwame ebio youth no amutie no your mama say o man no ayden bebre bet na yetwa ye twa bet so na ya say den agi ye tax enti no ye ba sa betting tax no ye twam na youth no mo ho atomo.
All right.
The atwa youth no amutie no ye see ye be 1 million coders program.
Okay.
Enti mabru no omo benya adwuma ye den
aye
entrande wo hu youth a ye be gu ase a
Yeah.
ye ni abra ye ba be support this agenda.
And
Bunu East
Yeah.
agenda 1111 no.
Yeah.
Bunu East 11 city no. Ye gini nyina ye chairman UNESCO Nkranda South, Nkranda North, Techimai South, Techimai North, Nkranda North, Nkranda South, Atebu Amantin, Sini East, Sini West, Pru East, Pru West. Ye nyina ye wa ase.
Wow.
Ye beta ye commander George Opariado, one the deputies echi. Na dwumadie we no from ne edeko no ye tears form na ye timi ayeden agi seat ni nyina.
All right.
UPSA.
Choboy, youth.
All right.
Youth.
Power.
Power.
Action.
97.9.
No.
XYZ. Ubetwedum. Owo microphone. Makabi. Ye ko ye dim na. Yemra. Ye biaya. Ye tight nana. Ye ne amansan. Ebedi nkomo. Me hu me nua bia. Me hu no. The last time me hu no na. Ye dwuma ye bi no ye na se we ja. Abasha tadi bi na. Abusia na nzai.
Ye do me nua bi.
Body.
You're from Engineer Ebenezer Edu.
Engineer Ebenezer Edu.
I'm a member of the National Youth Working Committee.
Solid. Na another day, near Ejina Homao, and a face on your share Nimu say, and Penny Faho on Becasano, on Becano Eddie. And maybe no do Donaka, how are you? May I short say, only on my but going forward, and the now share Nimu say, Bessie na, a bit my baby and Shan drew, and the money that's where free Ghana for Mebu.
Well, Minia, so who say this youth manifesto is the first of its kind in Ghana. It being seen that say Amanyo Kobi a year manifesto solely say be launch youth there. And see this is the first time BBC.
But I want to tell does it mean say manifesto na party no e de beba no different from the youth no launching na
there be manifesto kese no youth die na ewo mu no ene ye launch.
Okay.
Nti bibia ewo mu efa youth ho ene pa ewo mu fa youth ho no eno ene omampanin John Dramani Mahama eba be launch.
Okay, ne pa ne nsempa ewo mu no ebi ne de
unim say you say ye wo fufu pese wo sesan kwan ne
nkwan na dansu
nkwan na de minuamu akabi yaka 1 million code desk program on sports in the power hall. On side, I'm a mining engineer.
That's right.
So on the engineering field, the mining field, and the pay woho, edema and mabnu ewoho, oko ITC, yaka, oko youth in agriculture.
Yeah.
And the pub baby ewo mempese yabenom kwa.
But you see, another day, International Youth Day, no focus no here on digital space, no.
Yes.
And the choir you bet imagine so. Ama impuntu aba mebunu na brabo mu. Wo manifesto no wo bobo no mani bia eso no. Does it mean say NDC was adwen no say obegina abefo ade yoso aboa mempuntu aba mebunu na brabo mu.
Unim say yenuamu 1 million coders program na ye cast ye be no.
Yeah.
And 10 times so no so episode mu ye bi. It shows say emre dani otiase. The whole world is going global. You see how everything is purely digital. That is why Omanpenin John Dramani Mahama say, as part of creating jobs for the youth, no, you bear the 1 million coders program.
Yeah.
And it's a special year baby. Making sure say, Obabunu biya or you interested in ITC. Ebet me akum. Na me yenye example.
Yeah, man.
Yefan say engineer do. Metimi akwa kosuya coders program maybe. I formed my small company. Do you think that how many people can I employ? If I'm even able to employ 10 or 20 multiplied by 1 million, you see a job that John Dramani Mahama will be creating from the ICT side alone.
It's possible.
It is not possible, but it is doable.
Okay.
It is already done.
It's not possible, but doable.
Yeah, it is already done. Adebena Mahama Beka so obeya onye. We can the password. That's why we say in this election we are going for experience, not experiment. Because aye bida. And a woman bibia obesa ede. Aye na de maye. Anana me ye. And I didn't throw any bibia Beka say mintimi nye. And I say, Mom bets me and Mombra, mobile and be a true car. So I be that. And see, Yame Aduma, the 1 million coders program, a year, a walk, President Mahama, and Danakuma Sopa.
Very well.
And we are going to do it and do it well to make sure, say, Obi Bia or interested in ICT, no, Yame Aduma. Obet me and your BIA.
All right. Me that say, Eben, can you know now, boss of him? But
Mammy Fakwenya, as part of the National Youth Working Committee.
Yeah.
Na yembo your commander George Opariado Abasopa.
Yamon Abaso.
Because me Western region.
Yeah.
Ebi wo Greater Accra, ebi wo Ashanti, ebi wo say any in I for me committee for the past 1 month because of this program. Ebi mun dying.
Oh really?
Yes.
Not just a program, yes, a improve man about you.
Improve man about and in kakran. And ne Ghana mebunu ebe hu say NDC ye wadepa edemo bibia Dwabo Ase.
Me da say Eben, former journalist, still a journalist. Onwana yadene kasa and but say why engineer obejina ni say na kasa bia obetima kabia say bu dagbani kura and obeka and that's say
oh yeah
make a tree announce what kasa obezoka.
Everything is good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Now another year, a International Youth Day. At the end of the triumfa Ghana mebunu ho. At the end of the share ni musa mobeka. Ebebwa na year through how.
In fact, you know that MPP government had disappointed the youth of this country.
Okay.
During the MPP regime, you notice that unemployment rate was 8.6%.
And I know your NDC regime.
During NDC regime.
Yes, 8.7%.
Almost 15%.
Yes.
And that should tell you the level of disappointment and despondency among the youth in the country. And I want to commend my national youth organizer for having had this novel idea to bring the youth together, to highlight the potential of the youth.
Now, sir, or highlight, maybe, hold on. So, highlighted now. I did be an attention amongst political parties and say, you have grand events like this. But make you all the bombastic speeches. After the bombastic speeches, you know, was the Asamaya Kenya no na akogu baby. A bad actionable, sir. And some mate, yedi raman for fie, yedi rasuku demo, ako kan wasema. What is the guarantee, say, ni ayebeka waha, ni amwetinti mokrata asono, and no mbako ako kacha man for. Mama guarantee.
We have not gathered here for a talk shop. We are gathered here to solve problems of the nation. And whatever is discussed here, that's why we come in our numbers. We have about 60 youth organizers who have come from Western region to support this program.
Wow.
And already we have made our plan to disseminate every information we are going to take here to the grassroots.
And proud to this, and proud to this day, you know, at the end of Western region, say you were taking the message because your Mama Africa and same way in at least we're making a point about a bit of it. At the end of my Western region, say
every information that is articulated by our flag bearer has been disseminated to the grassroots. And we have a retail campaign strategy where we take our message to the polling station.
Okay.
And we have started some, but we are going to reinforce it in September.
Yeah.
We are going to boost from September up to victory is declared. We are going to make sure that every Ghanaian listens to the message of the party.
And so when you move to them and they ask you, where are the jobs? How are you getting us the job? What jobs are you creating for us? What do you tell them?
NDC, we have a track record. It's not like, unlike the other parties that talk so much, but they deliver little. You know, NDC, when you come to Western region, Ghana Gas, you know the impact it's making in Western region. That's sustainable jobs creation.
Yeah.
Not to create phantom jobs, give to people and you don't pay them. Ghana Gas has 1,500 workers as we sit now through the handiwork of NDC. So when we say anything, we really mean it. It's not like you say you are going to create jobs and then you deceive Ghanaians into believing into your message and you come and you are not able to do anything.
Very well.
NDC promise and they deliver.
Very well. Thank you. Dwabo Ase pane obra unyama mama mra de otoso na ye ni komo no wano obegina ni say mama wa fire kakra tu de gina ni say aha aya munyina ho bebre maye Caro Bessie Quay, what a Bessie, Betram, BBI Live, TV, XYZ Sunni, and a face of power 97.9. Which have now the two power. What a 200 betting semper, but your friend saying.
Madam the Mohammed Sadiq Gombela, National Team Coordinator of the Great NDC.
And I want to down the buy on.
Yeah, me no me down the buy.
Me also want sa bonkum so no ukra dom pa.
Mate ya no credit NDC ni enya ya per yon so don.
Na no ka hwe bani me. Na wo hwe ba bi foforo. What I meant is that when I look on your left side, you've really got a lot of people following you.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Also, still I want her winning the baker.
She's here to give me the moral support. You know?
Okay, talk about moral support. And said a high environment in the city. What are your expectations, really?
Quite obviously, lawyer George Operado has proven down with our numbers that he has demonstrated that he has a total competence and what he can do to deliver and make the youth attractive for the great NDC.
Yeah.
Prior to 2016, we all know the state of the NDC youth wing. Today, not only the state, he has been able to elevate the intellectual argument of the NDC. Cool. He has pushing, he has ensured that he has given the necessary support to enhance and make our party attractive to the average youth of the country. And you can see it in the various tertiary institutions. That is why I am very confident that this program would be a success. And if you know George Operado, I can tell you for a fact that he will never disappoint. And let no one think that this is going to be one of those ceremonial things. I can tell you, like my people say in the north, when the toad or the frog comes beneath the water and tells you that the crocodile has one eye, you don't doubt it. I am telling you that I have known George Operado. I have worked with him when he started and before he became the national youth organizer. I worked with him with Adam Agbana and Co. And today he appointed me as a national team coordinator. I am stating it and I'm telling the people here that we will do what it takes to ensure that the youth get a better state of position or condition under the next NDC
And you see what it takes has to do with the messaging, the message that you take to the students on the various campuses. What's been the message so far?
Oh, quite obviously. If you compare the conditions of the student prior to 2016 when we left office and compare it to now, it's obvious. You don't need to tell. Now, beyond the youth issues, look at the quality of education under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the late Professor Nana Opoku Agyemang. You look at the infrastructures across the country. Don't forget I was the former NUCS president. Yeah. I can tell you that even those days when we were giving the student loan, look at the number of loans we gave to students. And today, look at the conditions of the student loan. That alone speaks for itself. And I'm telling you that the next NDC government will bring better packages of loan to ensure that the needy, poor, vulnerable people will get access and climb the tertiary institution and contribute meaningfully to the development of Ghana. Let me also remind you and let the Ghanaians know, under our time, we never saw a lot of mobility of the youth, whether the nurses, teachers, agriculturalists, and what have you, leaving the shores of this country. But today, it is abundant and it's clear. And we are saying that the next NDC government will reverse the trend. We are noted to create sustainable opportunities, and we are noted to be building Ghana. The NDC has that track record, starting from the Fourth Republic under Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings to His Excellency, the late Professor Fifi Atambers, to John Dramani Mahama, and the coming back of GM would ensure that Ghana would work again under the next NDC.
All right, but before I let you go, Yanka Samfa and some young Umbetin Tim Diagu manifesto this way. At the end, the woman just say meeting the aspirations of the youth because we are 10 in Penifona Bako and in Prempino when you are moving come on our campuses. So, what at the end of what a year message now would be man and then you more pen each year.
Obia we read The Long Walk of Freedom by Nelson Mandela. The struggle against apartheid is quite obvious. Nelson Mandela omu hope. And I'm saying that and there the hope and aspiration about the youth of this country. To those listening to me, 10 members and youth who would want to join 10 or join the NDC, let me tell you that it is only NDC that can guarantee your future. It is only NDC that can help and shape the prosperity of the youth of this country. And that is why it's important that you all come on board to support us. Today, under this youth manifesto,
would be granting or be stating sustainable jobs, and we'll tell you how it will be done. The youth in Agric is not just going to be about jobs. It's going to be sustainable job. And we did that in 2014. Remember, it was our time we brought the Canadian grant. And this MPP came and twisted it and changed it, planting for food and job creation. So when it comes to the track record, we will do it. Yeah. And I'm also going to remind you that it was our time we revived the then factories and industries that Nkrumah left.
It's a commander.
So, and I'm saying, more importantly, we're in the 21st century.
Right.
And ICT are very important. I am more particular about the coding system by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Youth because coding, ICT, creating jobs, creating resources, income. John Dramani Mahama say you better finding means of way. I'm a public institutions no take you over. No chair from the basic to the senior to the tertiary institution. Yeah. That alone be creating sustainable job. Very well. Not just a job of political reasons. And let it be stated, we have implemented policies that has always affected us as a political party. But put Ghana in the long run, and we'll do that. Thank you very much.
Obviously, the Kasane Yase, Edem Agbana se, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, as Omunye Omokasane Yase. But I was here, Dwabo Ase, the Power 97.9 of FSO TV, XYZ. And I you know, you had the Free University of Professional Studies, Accra, and the Bramo. On my name, Babetinase, Balansana, on my name, Betinasino. Yentia, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Wabra no Kasafa, Nekwanya, Wabefaso, Ama Enyume Buso, Ewa my Ghana. Show him, Mame.
Our priority when we come in 2025 is to provide jobs for our young people. Because a lot of our young people have finished school 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, even 5 years ago, and still cannot find employment. It's not that they didn't go to school. They went to school, they have certificate, but they can't find employment. And that's because the unemployment rate has gone up. In 2016, when I was president, the unemployment rate was a little over 8%. Today, the unemployment rate is almost 15%. And so a lot of young people don't have jobs to do. And that's why I was saying that we have to accelerate our economy. And so rather than walking, we must start running. And so if we're working 8 hours, we must start working 16 hours and 24 hours. That's why we're introducing the 24-hour economy, so that we can create more jobs. So that we can create more jobs for our young people. And to create more jobs for our young people, we have to help businesses to be able to add on more employment and work in the night. And so we're going to help a new crop of business people called agribusinessmen. In every region, there's going to be a special agro-processing zone. Government will acquire the land, will do the roads, will bring water, electricity. And anybody who wants to set up a factory to buy products from farmers and process it will be giving the land to establish the factory so that our young people can get work to do. And all these agro-processing businesses will work 24 hours a day so that they can employ as many of our youth as possible.
Money, Mama, and I'll tell you, Karabusia. I Dwabo Ase Power 97.9 and a TV XYZ. Ya better Yasia. Na ahano na omining na better say na yedi and come to no as just medical catch say and this amanyo kono omopa omo manifesto no want to manya manifesto kese na nkasa nkasa badia nia ekasafa Ghana mabunu hono nie wo omutrim po omoda ya so omonuoma omoba be ya ma Ghana mabunu no eno no omopa wontuma enedai ewo University of Professional Studies Accra. Amos Blessing eye Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer Osansoka eye manifesto sub committee no ema NDC amanyo corona ono ewa hase awache nata di fita na fita ye Amos akwaba
me yesu minia
fita di aso wasimuntem
me nyansi muntem
o se wo bo fita no so na wia ne pie
eno kre
hwade o yase wo sa so ye oracle we abosom anamebwa
oh sa pepe
anya sa ne frɔ
sa
eti wo bosom sem na ade abesi yi
enye bosom sem sa
oracle okay deity Anyway, begin to be able to
Oh, be able to nyame de yen nso ache na so far it's looking very good. We have a blessed weather until
na munim say dwumadie ya na mahyehyɛ ato we munim say enaya international youth day nintina na wosamoye ne day ya na anase asɛm ne asɛm na abɛhyia.
I won't say a coincidence. Now we share in the world and 12 August na yatwa asi ho say International Youth Day. Di imebnu hun komo policies relating to youth in sema fa mebnu hun and kan unemployment to see how best to address the challenges of the youth. In fact, the world population usha imebnu na edoso. Even in Ghana, our population of 31%, no?
Yeah.
31 million, no?
Yeah.
38% are youth.
Yeah.
So it tells you, say, anywhere you go, any country at all,
but Africa, they are part of pa.
Exactly.
But Africans, so their problems, so edoso. What drill it down the bow my Ghana ha problems na me identify ya enunti mode won so anu aduro egumo manifesto no mu ye de.
Edikan no mamimfa akonya we so na min congratulate the national youth organizer and any deputies that for the first time in the history of Ghana we have a political party launching the youth manifesto which is carved from the main manifesto of a political party since 1992 yehu bibi say that all the political parties ye manifesto no one. Now we are mostly since 1992. No, the political party be the manifesto bar. There is a single policy in the manifesto. Is the topic I will be until overshadow all the other policies in the manifesto. And we share even what we are doing now in 2024. Ufa NDC Obiaka 24-hour economy, 24-hour economy.
Yeah.
And to not get the opportunity to look at the other aspect of the manifesto addressing other challenges. And because the Ghana Statistical Service, based on our population census, you won't say mebru ne doso. And our so challenges in this country, do not affect the youth. So our national youth organizer and his deputy studied what he said. If we are drafting a manifesto, and the people that challenges are affected the most, then we need to have a separate manifesto carved out of the main manifesto for the youth. In order for us to have a discussion with the youth, a dispassionate discussion with the youth to understand, say, this is the social contract His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Nana Jane wants to have with the youth of this country, based on which they should vote for the NDC. Now, Mutu Abama NDC, these are the policies we are going to outline to address the challenges. The whole of Africa, if I'm not mistaken, it is only in South Africa, at the time Julius Malema was the ANC Youth Week leader.
Yeah.
And a youth manifesto.
Yeah.
In South Africa. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, that is the
correct.
only instance. But in Ghana,
When
we
the
are
first
having
time.
it for the first time, and I
Which
want
is
to
true.
put that on record. So it tells you, sir, for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Nana Jane and our national chairman and the other executives to even agree that we should have a youth manifesto launch should tell you how they have the needs of the youth at heart. It is not every political party that the leadership will allow them to have a youth manifesto separate from the main manifesto. It tells you again how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Nana Jane wants to address the needs of the youth. And you see, about
should that also give us a fair understanding? Say, His Excellency John Mahama, one Professor Nana Jane Opogwajiman, Omotenia Ghana Mebunu FM. I say, look, there's one thing understanding the problem, and there's another thing understanding and then making an attempt to solve the problem. It's a Prof ne His Excellency Ejina.
So we share near ACA when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama contested the flag bearer to become the flag bearer in 2024.
Yeah.
At the campaign launch or Kansembi, or see we should vote for experience, not experiment. Now, what is telling you, Nise, with the president da, with the vice president da, Professor Nana Jane, aye ejuma wa bemuda as Education Minister. They understand the challenges of the youth. And Education Ministry mostly deal with the youth. So they understand the needs of the youth. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, being Vice President and the President, also has not only a fair idea, but in-depth understanding of the challenges of the youth. So having this information, they realize that for us to address the critical and practical needs of the youth, there is the need to have a deliberate, elaborate discussion about the youth, and there should be a separate manifesto for the youth. Now, we share your constitution, which is the binding document on all of us. There's a provision in Article 34.
Yeah.
And under the directive principles of state policy. Article 34 says the directive principles of state policy should serve as a barometer to measure the performance of every government. So it means that exactly. There should be something that Ghanaians should measure you with. There should be something that Ghanaians should hold your feet to the fire. And even in our governance structure, every government is given 4 years renewal term.
Okay.
So after the 4 years,
when 8 years.
Yes, after the 4 years, when Ghanaians measure your achievement based on your manifesto against the directive principles of state policy. So almost say we are there. Na yamawa tuasu. Okay. So almost say there been so na yamawa kotina. So it is not automatic. So you are given 8 years.
Hold on, mama diverting again. Let's just say and semen ko baumia nama waka say enam say owa akwenya for another term no. Enu nti Ghana for nhwe no monto abama no sasem no eni so kakra ho.
Sasem no is born out of crass ignorance.
Wow.
Because we share even in Ghana. The same MPP government, at the time J.H. Mensah was the minority leader in parliament, under Professor Rawlings.
Yeah.
The first term of Rawlings, only said MPP for no money parliament.
That's right.
So after the first term, Rawlings in his second term, the ministers in his first term, now because it's a continuation of his government. So the ministers will not be vetted. The MPP led by J.H. Mensah, with which Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was in parliament with, they went to court. Say every government is 4 years. Say Esatu Uswaba, you need to go back to the people again. So even the ministers who were appointed in late Rawlings, the first term of administration, their tenure ended after the 4 years. So they must be vetted again. So if you have any law student, any lawyer, there is a notorious case known as J.H. Mensah versus Attorney General. That is what is established. So if a flag bearer of a political party that went to court challenging, say, we don't have automatic 8-year renewal saying this, then it is only born out of ignorance and not any other thing.
And that ignorance can be reconciled to a more understanding of Ghana problems.
Exactly. So if you don't even understand, say, in government, you have only 4 years.
Yeah.
And your manifesto that you present to Ghanaians, it works only 4 years. And you must do everything possible to fulfill your campaign promises or manifesto promises within 4 years. And you are thinking, says, it will run automatically for 8 years. You are only telling us, even if the governance structure, which we all studied in school, you don't understand, then even the problems of Ghanaians, you don't even understand in the first place, not to talk of preferring solution to those challenges.
But about more understanding any a more faso a solve Ghana mebunu problems libya. And semi be a near better be
we share the youth manifesto now, now. And I want to emphasize again. Say youth manifesto now, nobody should think say George Opariado. And I got na baby, and I watch krataa bi, Eddie Bedada in Mebuno Ghana. There was a point where we raised this issue of youth manifesto. Someone posed a question to me, say, na Opariado no, onu nebeye president na announce you all launching youth manifesto. And they say, ba abemwa, obeye den no I implementing the youth manifesto. The explanation is very simple.
Is it not a fair question?
It's a fair question. I won't begrudge whoever asked that question. But the explanation is that this youth manifesto is not a George Opariado and as any deputy manifesto. He only happens to be the national youth organizer and the deputy championing this cause. Say the needs of the youth must be addressed separately from what we all do over the years.
Okay.
But the manifesto itself is an NDC manifesto, and I want to emphasize. Say we have what we call, we can, for want of a better word, a parent manifesto, out of which the youth manifesto has been carved. So even at the end of this month, manifesto NDC be launch, this youth manifesto is part of that parent manifesto. So when we come to power, it is that manifesto and the youth manifesto that the NDC will be measured in terms of performance. So nobody should think that this is a national youth wing or NDC youth wing manifesto. It's
NDC Jumedi. But Mebunu no champion.
Good. Mebunu no champion because we know the youth are in the majority and omuna problems reface you amududuo. So we need to have a deliberate discussion about the youth and a deliberate policy to address and alleviate the problems of the youth. Now, manifesto. We won't go into details because we don't want to preempt what will come out. But we are looking at creating a youth ministry, a separate youth ministry from the sports ministry. Now, when you say that, they will actually say, oh, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama can say, Obe reducing the number of ministries to 60. And he said, which means you are rather increasing the number and you are contradicting what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said. Right. I'll give a simple example or explanation. We share over the years since 1992. And I want to even start from this premise. So share your constitution now. The constitution does not tie us to specific ministry. The constitution, the whole constitution from Article 1 to Article 296, Article 299, which is the final one, mention only 3 ministries in the constitution. The Attorney General, the Finance Ministry, and the local government ministry. Wow. These are the only 3 ministries the constitution mentions. So any government, when you come to power, you are bound by these 3 ministries. You can't do away with it. Now, when you look at the constitution again, it mentions about cabinet. And it states that it should not be more than 19 ministers. You have a whole lot of ministers, but you were 19 from cabinet ministers. They run the government with the elected president, the vice president, and the secretary to cabinet. And these 3 ministries are critical. They are created by the constitution, particularly the Attorney General's ministry. There's a whole provision under Article 88 on it, separate. As for the finance and the local government, they are just mentioned in passing in the constitution.
But Attorney General, Minister for Justice,
Justice and Attorney General, who address that. Justice. But Uba Abemu as president, Ufa local government ministry, finance ministry, and the Attorney General, a Minister of Justice, you have a discretion to create ministries on your own. You have discretion to create ministry on your own. And I'll cite an example. Under Kufuor, former President Kufuor created the Fisheries Ministry, which was not under Rawlings. Created the Fisheries Ministry, the Aviation Ministry, and all those ministries. The late Professor Mills Baeno collapsed the Fisheries Ministry. You ask yourself why. It's because he was not bound to follow any structure cast in iron air ministries. So when you come, you model ministries in accordance with how you want to run your government. That was why when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was elected, before, there was Ministry of Children and something affairs.
Yeah, children and women affairs.
Children and women affairs.
Yeah.
When His Excellency John Dramani Mahama came, he realized that the ministry should not only be tied to women and children, because you have male aspect of that ministry. So he changed the name to Ministry of Gender and Social Protection. That is the rationale behind the change of the name, and not to tie the ministry to only women and children affairs.
And because
yes, so if you have a Ministry of Youth and Sports, what John Dramani Mahama and Professor Nana Jane is saying, they say over the years since 1992, when you pick the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the focus has always been sports. Sports. Ministry of Youth and Sports has never focused on youth. It has always been said sports. And even sports in the Quran, they focus on only blasters. They don't pay attention to other aspects of sport. It's only in passing in 1 or 2 occasions you see women football, badminton, any other. It's recent times but they only focus on sports. So they don't address youth issues. And that is the reason why the youth of this country are suffering. And because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wabu mind pain. Yeah. Watna bemu. Anyone who say arrangement na it's not helping the youth. And so no oba bemu or create youth ministry, the main focus or prime focus be youth issues. And that is where the youth manifesto is very important, because that ministry will see to it say, yeah, fulfill all the promises in the youth manifesto. And no nebe address. That will look at the youth manifesto we are talking about. Wow. Then we have a separate sports ministry that will deal with issues of sports. What you are here. Now, who can say we were two ministries? So what separated two ministries? And to automatically increase their number, which the questions they have raised is legitimate.
It is a two non work create here. It's what the sports about, what the youth about. It's 58.
Yes. So Niebeyani say we share local government ministry. It's a broad ministry. Under John Mahama and Professor Mills, we didn't have anything like railway ministry.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything like aviation ministry.
And sanitation.
And sanitation. Under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Mills and our NDC government, we had a local government ministry. That local government at the point in time, Naya Julius Debra was a minister, Collins Dada was a sector minister. Yeah. And we had two deputies at the point in time. At the point in time, Nilante Vanderpool was a deputy.
That's right.
We had Ajekum also as a deputy at the point in time. Even Baba Jamal as a deputy at the point in time. We had sanitation and other ministries under the local government ministry. So local government ministry alone, when you look at the Nanado Baumia government, they have splitted it into about 4. Even the transport ministry has been reduced and are divided into about 3, where you have railway, aviation, the other ones. But what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Air can say, all these ministries will be collapsed into one, will be merged into one. So under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Mills, local government ministry, and I say agric ministry. That's agric right. Ministry, there was nothing like fisheries. Fisheries was under the agric ministry. So under Professor Mills, we had 2 deputies. That was when you had the current national women organizer, Anabisu, Dr. Anabisu, as a deputy minister of agri, and the former MP for Lada Dekotopo, Niamasana Mwale, as a deputy minister. So we had a agriculture ministry, and we have a deputy minister in charge of aquaculture, and we have a deputy minister in charge of livestock. And that was where Anabisu was operating, and Namwale was in charge of what? Aquaculture. So there is no need of creating a fisheries ministry. Fisheries ministry came into our governance structure under the MPP, under the watch of His Excellency former President Kufuor, where the late MP for Takrady, Gladys Asma, was appointed as the first fisheries minister. We don't have anything like that in the NDC. So if someone is asking, say we create youth and sports, it will increase the number. It is not correct. The understanding is that local government ministry and other ministry like sanitation and others will come under the local government ministry.
It's back to a point now making. Meaning some mobile create youth ministry. Ebedi mebuno no hon sem nyina ho dwuma meboa.
Exactly.
Adie bi e ha mebuno no
mebunu. Adie bi e ha mebunu.
Asika bi ehia bia no mo de bema.
Exactly. And we share ministry no. The current governance structure, youth and sports. We have agencies under the youth and sports, National Youth Authority, National Service Secretariat, and even YEA and other things. All these institutions, parastatal institutions under ministries will be moved to the youth ministry.
Yep, but normal bear me and Sabia, share any say you be wabra more de manifesto to Gano.
The NDC and the flag bearer, we've realized the world is gravitating towards IT. And when we're in government under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we put up the data center. All the fiber optic cables in government in terms of communication ministry, where Dr. Mani Buama and co were there. They did all these things to lay the foundation for an effective takeoff. And in this manifesto, one of the things we are looking up to is that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, when elected as president, will roll out what we call a coding program to train 1 million youths. The world now is being taken over by AI. Very soon, you may not even see you, Minkan, sitting here interviewing me and talking. You have robot and other things operating. What we want to do is those robots are programmed to work. They don't work automatically on their own. So you need human beings to do the programming. And we need to train our youth to meet the needs of the 4th or 5th. We are now running into a 5th industrial revolution.
It's a
coding program for 1 million. You have youth in mining. When you see Galamsey, Adukru, country way. And there is the need for us to what? Regulate galamsey. That is why we are bringing what we call the youth in mining, in order to have a policy that will regulate mining so that the youth of this country can still do mining.
Youth in mining, and webinar, community mining,
you see, there is a way where you put name to a program, and there is a way where you have the understanding of the program and how you implement it. Your 2020 manifesto, no, near your people's manifesto. Okay. It came from the people and how they want their issues
it's
addressed.
This year, no.
This year, no. The embassy me catch Ghana and Mebuno say, and then for the first time in our history, your mom youth policy are based on which they will assess us and vote for us. And we are very optimistic, sir. We'll have them on our side.
May I say, Amos blessed. Amos Natin and Karabusia, Ugusa Osha Dwabo Ase, our power 97.9. And I feel so, UTA power 97.9. And I'll share what TVXYZ. TVXYZ Ghana, Facebook, YouTube, your XYZ broadcasting. Now, Youth Commander Nankasankasano, Wabaha, yeah, Bemana Kwaba. And the Jubedi so yeah, Babana Kwaba, Wabra Jubedi, I say, Pablo, George Opariado. Yes, yeah, I watch it. Mimo. Oh, but Jubedi, what ya babe, and Matissa Dodwana Eka, says Subi Magana da, my Ghana Bakosemu, when first time up, Amanyokobi to send this more manifesto betuja, Moyi Mebununi Diano. I see change say mo beboa amen commonagina e de na kofa adwen we bae
sabe unya impenifo a omo adwen Ghana dache ho a this is what you get. And let me give all the credit to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Ono na o conceive the idea and say this elections is about young people. He also wants to create the youngest cabinet ever and also establish a ministry solely for youth development. And so in doing this, we should separate youth-related issues from the broader issues and then address them on a specific day. So when I went to him, said, Yashe, we've have a discussions. They decided, say, on the 12th of August, a year International Youth Day, we will want to launch the Youth Manifesto, which we nickname our pledge to the good people of Ghana. Omani blessing. Your national chairman, your general secretary, all of them agreed and said, say, you're laudable, and it is time for us to separate youth issues from the broader issues. And the reason is that the majority of the population. And so if you don't address your issues, now we are seeing where the youth are becoming impatient with bad governance and are even beginning to doubt democracy. Then the NDC thinking quickly said, let's separate the issues and get the youth to understand what we intend to do for them and how we intend to fix the mess. So that is how we intend to address it.
And Assembly are kind of very, very instructive. Say, we be Saya Musai, Ediache Ghana Mebunu, one Yamo Beyafa, Omo Hano.
Of course, yes. You see, look at the faces of the many young people you see around. And then, as part of the program, there is a video we'll play. We call it Voices of the Future. When you listen to what Ghanaians are saying, citizens of this country, the pain that confronts them, their challenges, the disenchantment, the disappointment, Ghana sits on a time bomb. If the Ghana Statistical Service, has come out with a report saying, say, in the last 6 months, 8.4 million Ghanaians have gone a day without food. What it means is say 1/3 of the total population. The whole day, 8.4 million. A serious threat. A hungry man is an angry man. It is a common deme. Now, and the whole day, man, didi. Not Chinanopa. Adie Kosana min didi. Now, Ubi share me no bomb pass. Jena Kowa Semesi kind. Not Jaffa Kotedia and Idia. Nintente ma meja kwa.
It's a common
Those are the dangers. Exactly. Because if I'm hungry, I'm vulnerable. And when I am hungry and I'm desperate, I will resort to anything to survive because I will not want to die. And that is where Ghana has got into. 8.4 million Ghanaians a day without food. This is a formula near 001.
Yeah.
And now 101.
Yeah.
And now 001. And now 010. Whichever way
and
you
now
look
000.
at it. And now 000. And you're dangerous. And we cannot compromise it.
Another thing, so we are multi-dimensionally poor. So baby, I didn't be fair. When you know, so your statistics here be out.
For the multi-dimensionally
poor. What did you call me, Mahiano?
What did the first you say?
But me be so bono a nana don't kwana de bono. And I say we a bottled up problem. And I say problem our free medicine.
Every government from one regime after the other tries to improve upon the lives of these people. So I mean, sure and can. This is the worst time to be a Ghanaian. This time around, Ghanaians have been made extremely poor. This is the worst time for you to be regarded as a
Pablo, where you mama from kakra. Sabra ye kase o hwe o screen so ana say wo auditorium ho na utum say mebuno no dodo na ba o ma shots ye o mo shi mo mombe o mo totototo nyom na we utum say mora pa na aba no. We nyina ka mo hye no ho ana.
The euphoria is part of what you expect, especially when young people launch a manifesto.
Yeah.
That is what you can say for now.
So let's come back to issues. At least appreciate the Ekoso. So back to issues. And then most move what's the guarantee? Some mobile bema. Niamose mobile because baby so my bema bu ewa manyo fomu. Mosabu amuni so.
President Mama is a promise keeper. All the things he said he would do when he was president. They went to me and UPSA. Odino Krema Ghana for. He's a leader who takes responsibilities. When Dumso started, he did not cause Dumso. Successive governments failed. But he came before the good people of this country and accepted. Said, me, I'm president. I'm not going to apportion blame. I will fix it before I leave. And to God's glory, I'll fix it. Dumso and Zana Oko. My excess capacity crab and crofo by be exported. Free SHS or start here. He made his commitment. You best start with day students.
Yeah.
But in doing day students, basic community day schools now being at the time we're leaving, 121 had been started. Out of the 121, 23 was completed, 71 were nearing completion. This is a leader who shows commitment. There went me and he was magnanimous enough to come before Ghana for them. But his mandate was supposed to have been 4 years. We're in the second 4 years. But only 4 years now, we call him the nation builder for a reason.
Yeah.
Because of what he achieved and what he did. In Nemo are unprecedented. He did not give slogans to Nemo but he delivered and Ghanaians saw his works. And today his works are all over. And today he's become the standard compare who an African leader should be.
Yeah, and for another day, answer na Monisha adi hunu ni nyina bebem no na yetima fa abatu ani ma bibia koso 111 mo bota ense mbedi nkunim be nso mu nua no MP before gina simpie so mu swai se de omu be ye bia mu ni nkunim no be ye e de na waka chomo Brian na champion ni omo kasa sa no.
Empty barrels make the most noise. Cowards shout the loudest. Said they are brave and bold men. Brian in Yebema. So Yebema, Sabi, Wagro Pesha, Wagro Kasama, only the dance and it was Wagro Pesha. Nansenya hotels assembly. When Johnny, he ran with his tails in between his two legs. Mr. Brian saw Yebema on the 7th of December. He had 2 abandoned you need to declare Mohammed Dinkunima. Or no, so a Bemano on Tinsia Bonte. Because call me 2 nefo. The catcher and the bush penny there, or moon 2 nefo. Esa baby, I didn't back on it. So oya bufrani tooth now unti I don't quanti. Let's not take Brian a champion serious. She knew him. She knew a bit me.
It's the end dog.
Okay, bonfani say mugu.
Cheesy.
Oye bema kon kasa. Na bema bena obeye bibi o kasa. Oye no we say why. Eye mugu o de shen hun cry. We be na ye che yi Papa ya MPP General Secretary Sir John. Ko jina court o si gbese na chain no gbese na ache Brian o kan kwase asem for fi enso. Mamu fi no.
Look, okay, last one Hasan Mamu community say wada jiri nti enoma bebre wa e wo se wo ye. Again on the manifesto no ene day ya International Youth Day focus ni on abefo no mayo ene kwan ya faso ene tu mabunu no abra bompon e de na mo ma Ghana mabunu ba abefo ade yo na.
And then there is a young man called Divine who will be speaking to issues of ICT and what government intends to do on ICT. And I can assure you, sir, when he is done, he will deliver and send a message across clearly what we are going to do and how we intend to get there.
Time Benny here.
Oh, I saw by 10:30 there. President Mama Nyedu na ye crowd will be into President Mama Nyedu na ye decision.
It where NDC phone kwa na ba na say
the program is in two folds.
Okay.
Where the launch of the youth manifesto. Ya ton sa Africa na for bebre diplomatic missions and for civil society bebre me say be my babet na.
Yeah.
But there they are because it's an NDC program, NDC for NB. But in the evening, there is a bigger conversation at Buko Marina.
Okay.
And the program, no, it is launching of the youth manifesto. Unya chance in bisa question.
Right.
So we will speak to policies here. And you know, for the first time in the history of this country, we are putting President Mahama in the center of the Buko Marina.
Boxing ring.
Nimu. Young Ghanaians should surround him. Question BL Akuma Subia Branabi. We will not censor it. And we trust and believe in President Mahama say he's capable and able and you'll be able to answer all the questions. I throw a challenge to Mahmoud Baomia. So I'm subjecting him to the same process. So be to me.
Very well. Pablo Yadase, National Youth Organizer, Emma NDC Amadio Koro, George Opariado, lawyer, Ona Otene Nka, and Ope with Dwabo Ase of Power 97.9. And you may so another history is going to be made. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will book boxing arena anymore. Obeba betina biaya yeboku tuboy na watena hono atwen ahwe animu se question bi agana babunu bi awo no wo bebusa no mame mrana ye to ankomo no so ne dai wo ba bi ayetie yi a ye ho adwe ye kama okechukwu hwemani bi o na se ne kirebe what's that Kufuado? What's that Kufuado? The baby anywhere say Kufuado. The Okanoboa. But we did it for the sake of emphasis and the clarity.
Yeah, Kafri Danku.
Kafri Danku. Mame Kafri Danku akwaba.
Yeah.
Na bibi aboko.
Bibi aboko.
And one friend Edward say. Na day and age media ya ebe koswe. What expectations here there?
Oh, me expect say youth no nyina will come in their numbers. Ebe tie plans are President John Mahama woma when it comes to sports arts, creative arts nyama enti enti na me ba be culture mo plans NDC ni John Mahama mo youth no in sports and creative arts.
Me share that part because I wanted to see baby wakuma wo also we can boss sports no born once and money but creative arts no would the ejabi too
because and me feel they
absolutely etikafu about creative arts now you can evaluate problems na yenhwe die John Mahama so oba Baba ya found any problems are
funding and distribution problems we've had for some time but all power no na near my course na okay but suddenly let me say you are declining production crack form I'm from producing movie simple and see also plans my Baba the funds Oba institute funds the new startups creative startups na dey that work no yet me call nim it Oba set up studios with quality and international equipment and you try adena you between a global standards and you ton ye ho so yes
but is it right for mindset obeja to no so say we build there and also set up studios film studios or mine also manage at also and wouldn't you rather prefer say obebi kwan na private sector boom once
sometimes they collaborate with private sectors, ni experts na de. Enti ebi awe time hono ebebe mu. But at the end of the day no, ni nyina be ko share o mine no enyonyam. Private sector or government ni nyina be share abai no enyonyam. Enti nyina ye working in
hand in hand.
Exactly.
But I'm sure you would realize the entire make us because beyond John Dramani Mahama aban no aban foforo anaso ono emu na be de echi anaso obi foforo obeba no de ono so be ya sustaining no and ade bia eye associated with aban in terms of funding no eya na omo nya mane nkosi awie ye
any problem or say it me solve as yen because for instance who ye we ama oman no na obi foforo ba no ambeto aso ebe ha oman no entinye say the emotions na e dey govern no a problem and I say no what there was say you can't you have conversation if I who sana yen sakrasa we no because at the end of the day Ghanaians yen na yebre ebia a few people na more ho na mo ka say with emotions we no en ha mo bebre but at the end of the day generally so e be affect yen as a the country na yen grow and you know we have to talk more about that and see a different conversation I was say having
for a government wo ba ban mu a o my Ghana sika sema say Yedakam, Yesoka, Yentimi Yeka. What's the guarantee? Because you are in the creative arts industry, what's the guarantee? Say, and no may almost 2026, 2025, 2027, because 2026, a cabia so yeah, Yadia Mama would know. Almost it's Abra and I entry. So what's the guarantee? So bit my
oh, me, genetic, me who say Wakuma Emma. Arts, all disciplines, and I mean, when say only power pono not of one for in the arts behind the scenes. We be our ember out, but me meaning. Into meaning say he will find a way. Maybe he's got it all figured out. He will find a way to definitely fix every broken industry
within the industry.
Yes.
But what about say issue omokan say also obe create and also TV station be. Ono asechira say chema me person me
come who me can me say studios na dey
TV station na studio
well TV station studios nina yes studio was studios
also film studios
yes we record creative content
yes
e be a film village
yes
baby something yes say be we be twa bibia na ko me be pouch ma me ofie mfetwa ma me kan mfetwa me we mfetwa ye be wo village e be wo sania ma no in place na be we kwakotwa bibia be easy amount yes
eno na ususu se wo ka
na be say me susu me nim na me nim
say wo ka
discussions
okay na ede na mafo adwen ko see TV station
once everything with studio is and the media no are connected to TV stations in Tibia and when the man Crawford but all the same mommy more the merrier you have more TV stations I said no it means more growth yes and more freedom to create
yes. But remember in general no and the idea na wo hwe no say omo be to dwa be beyond creative arts
or
the creative industry
yeah, well, health, yeah, well, agriculture, yeah, well, entrepreneurship. I have other speakers who are handling that.
Yeah.
We are experts in that field. Yes, and when you know boy youth, you know. And I mean, who said there's a sprung of a lot of us these days want to do things for ourselves. Me who entrepreneurs be brave, contacting me on Facebook. Some will say, "Oh, mommy, when first started with me, business, we be me say, mommy, help me promote that day." And to me, say, "Nedia, a lot of good information." Ebe more in future.
All right. Me do ase kafui. Obra onyama kafui danku. Wodi akote power the creative arts industry. Wono na tene nka anope we Dwabo Ase power 97.9. Migusu abene emperifo no dodo na edi nkomo. Eche bia yade mu bawura Kofi Ohene Kunadu auditorium na ne ekoso ho bia no. Matimi ede mani ehunu kama wo TV so TV so is na face so mati enka ho power 97.9. Now, Sreni or TV chain, Minister 4-star general dia. Says so 7-star general dia. Eja kwaba.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Ebudia in 7-star, that's 1 million stars.
You know, Pablo is the commander.
Okay.
And I'm the commandante. I'm the former national youth organizer. So
that's right.
I have to be in my officer's way.
Good to see
and
you.
And allow the commander to be in his military regalia.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much. We are reserve armies and we are always deployed as and when it is necessary.
And today marks history because when the first time now you're youth organizer, I'm sure you contemplated at a point say BBC a bit messy, but way historic and I want to say
that is very, very true. That is some of the things that I always commend the national youth organizer. You know, times changes and political atmosphere always changes. If you don't have a leader that matches with the changing environment, sometimes.
Oh, where they come from? Amodi. I was saying, Ludwig Roger.
No, Sidi Abubakar.
Sidi Abubakar. And Yanin Kamiyas, I was every day. Yanin Sidi Abubakar and Chishenkomo.
Thank you very much. So, if you look at the way and the manner Pablo comes in, and you see, he consults a lot.
Yeah.
And now, if you observe, even in 2016, social media was not a strong tool as what it is now.
But not social media.
It was there. That was at the introductory stage. As to whether people will come in and take it up now was very, very low.
Yeah.
So if you look at the data that came after 2016 elections and you look at the social media participation, it was around 5%. But when the COVID hit and the fact that everybody has to stay home, then we were all relying on the social media. And that is why our flag bearer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, at that time, when he started using the social media, people thought that he was a joker. He was joking. But trust me, he knows what it's about because he's a communication person. Somebody is a specialist in communication. So he told us that the new kid in the block is the social media.
Social media.
It. And now, look at GM, how he's making e-rolls. Sometimes he doesn't even need to even go to any hinterland. But you go there and you see James' message there, simply because he is the first among the political class to get hold of the social media and is making an impact. And that is why Pablo took it up. You could imagine some of the last, before 2020, there was something similar like this. And this time around too, we are now launching the Youth Manifesto. And this Youth Manifesto did not start today. In fact, the consultation started even before 2020 when we were at Volta region, that's Volta Serene, where we had discussions, but we couldn't push it. But this time around, I think, first in history, that the party is going to launch the Youth Manifesto.
And by close of the program, no,
well, clearly,
especially the mobile
trust me, this is, already Ghanaians are yearning for the coming of the NDC. And so, when you look at it, what is hitting us hard right now is unemployment. And for us to be able to see that the party is going to make a progress, it will depend on what we are going to be said here. So, the youth will see the way forward from this very program because what is in for us.
Right.
And when you look at the statistic, the number of youth who will be voting,
very well,
it tells you that if we are, the best way to do is to give all the necessary time to this program and then we'll be able to support him. And that is why His Excellency himself was the one promoting this program.
Yeah.
If you observe on the social media handles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so very important. I don't say Alhaji Sidi Abubakar ne obra unyama kane dom ye mebunu dom frefo epanyima NDC amanyuko no ono na wotere nenka ave minia ba sentrani a oye na dwuma wo eye Pan African TV oye legend ankasa ne ba nanu ya na no papa di birthday minister birthday di dia Amma Pratt.
Hello.
We are sitting on the lounge.
No.
And I say, I had a lounge. Where do you say? Aguava.
Yeah,
maybe I walk on here.
Yeah, walk me.
I mean, you are not Pan African for you now. What to say?
Yeah.
Maybe if you watch you.
I was sober.
And what crata? I don't know. Yes, I'm castle. I'm a room if you. Anyway, another year historic. Yes, it means that. Well, my Ghana bakwasemu. So for the first time, political party with the NDC, omo ba be pomo manifesto hon to my but answer na no. Omo se mebunu no de na wo manifesto ni mu no. Yem bie so nkyere Ghana fo nyina. For you as a journalist, what does it mean?
It is historic. It's very historic. I'm here in so many capacities.
Yes.
I'm wearing so many hats.
That's right.
And hats are mission, all my hats are excited because for the growth of any country, I think it is dependent on the youth. Pembebre no ayana Ghana hano you're dreaming youth who senkola. You're dreaming youth who as the future, as the people who would actualize policies na yewono, dreams na yewono, visions na yewono. It takes the youth for all of these things to be actualized. Inti me mete hano. Just say me be wine maso. What I say, ne makome na metie ni ye because I need to understand direction na yede kono. But perhaps more importantly, me role in what the vision is and how, you know, me actualize it to move this country forward. Yeah. We all understand, we all admit, say, you're running aground. Absolutely. Nobody needs to tell you that. And you know, if there's a part I can play in rescuing the nation, then I'm more than eager to. I want to hear what the vision is, but like I'm saying, more importantly, you know, I want to know what my role in that actualization, no. There's that, but then there's also the woman, you know, angle.
Yes.
You know, I'm saying
apart from Sikakura Biakasia, yes, ye baby Biediama Ghana mano. Edia Shishan, what is end this yaka? A fagana mahua, a bet within Sakrayan in Puntua, a subi madaba.
Yes, starting free, the most obvious.
Yes.
Which is Prof. I'll can't take it to yes, that's in free. For me, that statement now, ex-president John Dramani Mahama, you know, is the loudest, you know, statement for inclusion that could ever be made. For once, no, we see a real chance, right? Now we can literally touch the opportunity for a woman to get that far. Representation, no. I'm saying you can't representation as a free hand. But for me, no, right at the heart of representation, no, and this decision to put a woman on the ticket. Let's start from there. Then let's talk about the Women's Bank But also, no, let's dissect the 24-hour economy and how it can practicalize shared dreams, you know, as both men and women of Ghana. Like I told you, maybe a mason. We beji good news ni na diako.
Diako. Medo ase ye read media na mesa banche na ya toa ye komo no so. Si antoa so TV so e beko the lounge na ya go di komo.
Couch, ye beko couch.
Eh, me say yeah. Man kari ye kra. Etina me can lounge was say eh nya. Anyway, I was your TV XYZ studio at a power 97.9. Yemfad nia otwatwo Emran Sana ma hand over the ama ajimanie power die or the power mid morning Ebremo power 97.9. But sabre yehwe ni wona fe final speaker yene ne bekasa no yentene kana fe yemfa ni nyina entu asemra na wieye ewo dwumadie yiso power 97.9 and a TV XYZ. But who say me answer training back bi so ha say ono o se chebebre edi enti na wa ja Gabriel
o ja ne ekoso ya
Mr Gabriel Arthur
ya de ekoso ya de nyina ye hu de ekoso
etu o ka mabunu no ho
wan kasa hweme so na fa me hye baabi I was say ani breo
na se o ka mabunu no ho
me ka ho
munya babunu
mo ye sure say me ka ho I was say ma ye ni bre
okay
yeah I was say
edi enti na I was say ma ye ni bre
oh wa wo hwe de ekoyi wa wo hwe de ekoyi obi ni ho obetimi e de kokuduro apemu akasa oh bibia ye okay how ehin na wote e de enti na bibia ye okay se wo bie wa no kra akasa no kra no be hu usu ne wo ban yeah
it will be one kasa what di
bone wa fu nyame kase ba
enti na dwuma de wo hwe ne musade ne de no mbeka e betima abo de ahoto aba my Ghana.
Well, the vision, you know, especially manifesto here, youth manifesto on Bible launch.
Yeah,
hwe de wo mo eti enina ye kowen ya so senia ama practical it acquire good.
Yeah,
enina yaba hebetie ya hwe de wo mo ema ye nyina
na ye di ho nkomo ma me fa de otwato mra na fe yemfa enkomo no mra na we ajuma wo twa me kakra and also King Nicholas na ho mo twa me kitu e just two more speakers na fe ye de ni nyina aba na we ya wudi
your friend me Franco Usuamua
where so for na
do na friend me Bravo me a youth commander e wa brem
but we a prayer warrior that said yeah
no
one nti na make us no
unse me ne afa Mimi de twa mu no ne wo koforidua.
Okay.
And if say wo hwe emabu ne pie ba bonten mimi de twa mu no e wo koforidua. Na wo se mabu no nani abre.
Where your NDC mabu na say mabu
no Ghana mabu no. This election is not about NDC MPP.
Wow.
Eye Ghana for ne MPP for na e elections we because ye sebre ya anye amfiri sa ban we nsam a emabu no ne anida so. Hwe na no mi krom abrem. Ememu wa bi ko bu obi dani. Eko wi ana omo ko omo anya hwe no ano anwa no omo tete koi.
Hey,
I am telling you, this aban way ebridi akromfo etene mabunu no into akromfo.
Wow.
And this hwe ebin see that say yes say there be ade etene say youth and sports.
Yes.
Youth and sports.
Yes.
For the first time and I had to say aban bi say orte sports ministry no every youth ne ho. Na ya mabunu no nko ani da so. If you see a woman, me, I'm a sphere, see a two about. Maintain say you see ye launch youth manifesto.
It's a no quenti.
You know, who can come with the Abijana, me who yirame, me pesa me TBB na me cock bo a mebununa man here. Because for a very long time, you need a swasan. Nanka ye nim se Ghana and no one no. Because who do me mentemua, a brimlin in Persuaso now, and Crofoti me kubu a sorry Danny, a Kurian trene. No, I'm telling you.
As a banner,
me say mebuno and near Juma. You need a swasan. Wow. She, uko duru baby no be catcher or say, na o mami nefu and no busan say, assassin who are called no busan say the yefu no pine shame me. I am a youth, my year willing some year Juma. But where are the jobs? John Mahama may need a so, and trust me, ye near brew, ye pesi a tiddy, wom ya tibi. Na ye be tibiaka home. Na ye home ambassadors this time, ye be buana ya CV Ghana. Mamin salute to Commander Pablo. Under his leadership, with his youth working committee, I'll come in Tadano.
And then you mentioned Commander Pablo Kaja said, His Excellency John Mahama Beko Bukom, boxing arena, or better not be a Yaboku to way. Now, what shared him some man for a better question about to say, I
deal with what
boxing.
Now,
other than no man see that way about what someone is
because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, why ye be paying, and penny send you nimuteno, and ye didn't naturally neano. Why ye be paying, now what cotton naturally, and now when near a co ye ni uncle ye. This is an experienced man. I assess ye the Ghana Shenensa, not a mebunu. Yeni daso. For the first time, you see a Kobuku Marina.
Yeah.
Now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, yen yakwenya,
yen question abono.
Yen mubi say yen yakwenya, and the papa nakasa papa watibida. Ghana president. Ye mubi say yen daso, enya opportunity a bisa a question, no one answer a question. Have you what way be that? And this is our hope. John Mahama, why yen daso ma yen mebunu, and we're telling you.
Okay.
Hey, ye be dinechi.
Mate.
And unim sa me compose in yumbi ma Pablo.
O compose ma.
Wante.
Echi no ato. Unim ye breniti. Ye fancy ya. Echi no ato. Ebusia Dwabo Ase ni power 97.9. Ye didi akwa adwuma wotan mo kafra. Me ani ayite powers. Any come officer later tonight. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Baby aya wotan gina obo box eno. Obakwa akotena obi. Oni onyina obetena obi. Ana obegina ho. Ebi obegina na so obetena ho. Na man for to questions abono. What be that?
Me.
You don't hear so before.
No.
You not happy before.
I don't know what to talk about. Charlie, I hate the powers. You know, this MPP, they have nothing to show up. They don't know what they have to talk about. John Dramani Mahama. You understand me?
Yeah. But I'm actually referring to what President Mahama will do later at 4 p.m. He'll be in the boxing ring like you do, where people go come, then throw questions at him. Like then they box. You hear some before?
I don't hear some before, but the man is ever ready to answer everybody in the world. You understand?
Would you want Baumia to come and ask him a question?
My brother, Baumia, don't mention his name because
why?
He done nothing to us.
Really?
Me never say. Paco, you are coming to tell us you want to give us mobile phone. We want good things. You are talking about mobile phone. Papa, just imagine. Just imagine. Anukwale no ye back home. Anukwale only one. You understand me? 2016, ye top it through 16 Ghana. Nana Akufo-Addo ni ba omo almost see enye kenke 1 city. Almost see enye kura. Enti se mo aba na mo ntumi ntusu de mo ma enda osama e. But se see akenke 5 city. My brother say okita about 4 and now 5. Charlie, these people there,
Charlie,
it's too much. And this 2024, what can come? This 2024, there, what can come? I'm telling you because we your bread, though. See, $12 price, my brother. All that be that. Say, I go for the can say all that be that. Yeah, the real all that be that has come. because
the real all that be that has come.
Has come. This is the time. Yeah. Top petrol 16 city. Musi nye grass say petrol 75 Ghana. Boss, I think youth know they are angry. Even deodorant the youth can buy. Deodorant.
Wow. It's a very who can cancer. Near the chow blade.
Domama time, domama so bet to kwankra oni no members. Omo nyina am fa pray. Na na ko fa uba you are renting pray going up and down up.
They are renting what?
Renting play going up and down. Sasi karo put all the bagana. You bet to mess say nyama bebre. Boss, the truth is only one. Charlie,
why John Mahama? I didn't think yenya GDA our President Mahama mu. I didn't think yenya GDA say and the program ya mobile be ya Kofi or Hene Kunedu auditorium yi. Ebe boama meburu ni ha nyina twetwa.
My brother say John Mama ye bibia kra John Mama ye hospital. Domama ye hospital, why ye Kaswa Bridge, why ye Circle Bridge, why ye KJT Market, why ye Terminal 3 Airport. Boss, anukwale ekometo ope. The truth is only one. Nana Akufo-Addo should come and Baumede should come and tell us what they have done to Ghanaians. You understand me? What they have done to Ghanaians, then we can say that by you Omanpeni Baumia,
okay.
You said you are coming to bring us phone to buy the better phone. I don't work, and you said you are coming to give me phone. Am I going to chop the phone? Boss, we should open our eyes. These people are lying to us too much.
Apart from Niayaki Kenyano, but Sabaumia Kabibi say electricity boa kosro. Waba obetia manaba from say what is solar eba say ye energy maxima. Yanka de no.
My brother, this man have been lying to us since 2016. And we people, we have to sit down for him to lie to us again. We can't take this kind of lie. They be a male, they be omu trantro, they be omu di enyama bebre. Do mama ye enyama bebe mua ba mua trantro bebre. 2020 po omu winning election. It is Cecilia there. Anything I see this time there, what can come. What can come. What can come.
I eat the powers. I eat the powers where a boxer. One on our 10 and Kane will share Power FM and I think so TV XYZ. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Nizimbia Wakano Yeba Kubiacho Titri War was Sabre ya Kwakotuaba and in Numa Bia Yaba won't chain na ya catch no ebini.
Elections have consequences. The way you vote has a consequence on your life. In 2016, we took a certain decision. We voted because a certain group of people said they were the most competent to rule this country. Things were not perfect under my government. We had not made Ghana heaven, but at least we were making some progress. Today, we are told that our lives are better. How can our lives be better than it was in 2016? And everything you talk about has deteriorated. They said, we are bringing an economic wizard. He worked in Bank of Ghana before. It was him who helped Kufuor to make the cedi equivalent to $1. We are bringing him to stabilize the cedi. What happened to the cedi? It broke jail and ran away. He said he had arrested the cedi and locked it. What happened to it? The cedi ran from 4 cedis to 16 cedis to $1. And so, elections have consequences. Today, they say we should applaud them for what they have done in 8 years. In 8 years, we are hungrier than we are. You remember, they say, yeti what, yeti dienso, yeti sikaso, and so, come the. You remember that one? Ghana nye hiamai, yeti sikaso, and so, come the. You remember it? Today, aren't people more hungry than they were before? The most important issue in governance is the fight against corruption and accountability. If you don't want to be accountable, go and do your own business. Whatever you do in your business, nobody is coming to hold you to account because it is your own investment. But if you decide that you want to come into public service, then be prepared to be held accountable. And so I've said it and I'll say it again. For those people who have been involved in scandals and various acts of misappropriation in this government, this MPP government, we shall investigate you and we will let the law take its course. We will notice that the bulk of our people here are farmers. And so we need to support our farmers to be able to produce. The problem with our economy is that we are import dependent. Everything we import from outside. Indeed, food products alone account for almost $3 billion every year of our import bill. And a lot of these things are products that we can produce locally. Even we rely on our neighboring countries for some products like onions and tomatoes. And these are all things that God has blessed us with the land. He's giving us sunshine. He's giving us water to be able to do so ourselves. And so we're going to come and assist the farmers so that we can produce enough food. Before you do anything else, the first thing you need is to satisfy the stomach. And so food is the #1 priority. And the only way we can produce enough food is to support the farmers to produce it. And that is why NDC is coming to establish farmer service centers. Every farmer service center will have at least 10 tractors with planters, harvesters, everything that a farmer needs. You have fertilizer, you have weedicides, you have improved seeds, everything. And each farmer has to register with the farmer service center closest to him. They will come and measure your farm and see how many acres you're doing. They know how much seed you need. They know how much fertilizer you need. They will come and plow for you. They will harrow for you. They will plant for you. And they'll do it on high purchase, on credit. And when you harvest your crop and you sell, you come and pay so that the next season they'll have money to support you again. This will help our farmers to be able to produce more food.
Ma Edionu ba kugu so a wo hwe TVXYZ afezuri achi e wo TVXYZ Ghana XYZ broadcasting kai se dwumadi ne da mu nyina no aha ne de ebe free e de abrao na sabre aka simaka kra bi na dwumadi no ahyase e wo Kofi Ohene Kunadu auditorium UPSA HB yadu be auditorium wo abra yakoka ye nuanom Wezo TV ho na yedemo ewura auditorium na se de dwumadi no besi akoro wati wahunu bibia wunima ene NDC amanyoko no epa wo mo manifesto emebunu no efa ne de wontema ewo UPSA ha mebunu no dodo na ne o mokasa na dodo na ase omo ogidie pa mapa ewo NDC amanyoko mu se wo mu ne betimi age mebunu ewo oman Ghana e de free ohaw dodo ya ewo ye memu na speaker after speaker no bete omo nsem wabra omo kasa no peti for Dwabo Ase dwumadi no aha ene de mu besi and I say can say nkoma eye minia Raf ene ni team ene Raf wa hapa ene Raf ewa ha Sansuna Kelvin Asante Sansuna eye Osofo Prince enso wa ha Imano Ousu ewa ha say Sansuna eye Brawuli ene ne chana wa hye no wadane ahwe nachi William ewa ha say Osofo Prince Babodin Dada driver yada meta friend divine Albert away divine or Satari Vita on also ewa and as I can say nkoma akra Kofi Dako ɛna Desmond Sowa ɛne team ni nyinaa team XYZ yɛne yɛde dwumadie no abrɛ mo sabre nti yɛdan yɛn ho aba yɛba yɛn nuanom ways ɔde borɔfo ɛne nkɔmɔtwitwa ahodoɔ ɛbɛfam wɔ abra yɛwura auditorium yɛbɛhyia bye bye.
Raise your flag to a new dawn. We've walked this path far too long, so let us rewrite our history. For Ghana needs a change.
And may the heavens rescue this land. We need a man with vision to lead. Join my hand.